Excuse me. All right. We are live in all the places once again. Hey, what's up, Artwork Studios? How are you? Over there on Twitch today, I see. Very nice, very nice. Thanks for coming. Thanks for stopping by. If only just for a little bit. Oh wait, I'm on Twitch. Yep, you're on Twitch, bro. Or at least that's what your chat shows up from Twitch. Yeah, there's probably a lot more purple over there, man. Wait, where'd all this purple come from? Hey, what's up, Inspire? How are you? Well, well, well. If it isn't another Code Coffee and Chat stream. I don't know about that music, man. I also don't know about this hair of mine sticking up like craziness. Need a haircut. My favorite YouTuber? Wow, dude, that's hey, thank you very much, man. I don't know if I'm anybody's favorite YouTuber, but that's very kind of you to say. What's up, Dev? Or Max Dev Mastery? How are you doing? I'm doing well. Yeah, just starting my day. I'm kind of bothered by the fact my hair is sticking up, though. Not gonna lie, I don't do a lot of YouTube. Just saw the notification on my phone. Well, that's awesome, dude. Thank you very much for dropping in. It's very kind of you. Very, very kind of you. I'm glad you're here. Alright, I think that's as good as the hair's gonna get. I got I gotta go wet down my hair. I'll be right back. Doing good. Just Max is okay. Okay, Max. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm gonna be right back. I gotta go wet down my hair because I don't like it sticking up. Alright, I'm back. Good morning, Root Monsters. How are you? Good morning, Blips. Too much of a perfectionist? Yeah, maybe. You know, there's just those things that better to take care of than just let them distract you. Wild OCD. Alright, I guess we're going to do some more Rust learning today. Hopefully that'll go well. Somehow I can't wrap my head around it. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Alright. Now we can settle in. Get this first cup of coffee drank. Good morning, Big J's Faith. How are you doing? Big J's, I never asked you. How come you're up so early? You're up super early like me. Is that just a habit from past life or what? Felix, how far did you get with learning Go? I started a couple days ago. Let's see. In terms of how far, I would say I know it. Yeah, I would say I learned it. I did all of the advent of code in Go, and then I built a 2E in Go. I built a static website in Go. So I would say I learned it. We all in the early gang, man? Yeah, but like some of you guys I know aren't in the United States, but I think Big J is. Oh, you have PTSD. Oh, you have nightmares, Big J? I'm sorry, man. Well, hopefully, you know, getting up and hanging out here can help put some of them nightmares to ease. I'm sorry about that, man. Insane flex. No one's flexing. No one's flexing. I'm just curious. I'm just curious, like, why would anybody want to get up at 4:15? I mean, if I didn't have to get up at 4:15 to stream, I wouldn't do it. I'd just wait and stream in the middle of the day. But my schedule doesn't really allow for that. Or I guess my life choices don't really allow for that. I can get a lot more peace than at night. Oh, that's fair. That's fair. I've heard lots of people express that. Excuse me. An LOTR. Oh, I had to blow my nose. It was my bad. What's it? Are you talking? You're doing a Lord of the Rings speed run? What does that mean? Good morning, Ilmanian. How are you? Mainly, I'm awake to see Steven's beautiful face. Oh man, I don't know if it's beautiful. My face might give you nightmares, man. See, we got quite a few people hanging out here this morning. So you finally started Rust? Yeah. So we started learning Rust like on Monday. Yeah, we rewatching all of them for fun. Me and my family rewatch Lord of the Rings like once a week. It's like one of our background shows. That and Harry Potter. We just put those movies on all the time. The good old days. Yeah, Lord of the Rings was fun. Great again, 66. Hello. Good to see you. I love saying good morning when it's afternoon for me. Yeah, I know. I can't help but break that habit. Well, we shall not pass. Good morning, Mochi Mochi. Good to see you. Rust is pretty nice, really secure language. Yeah, so far it's been pretty nice to work with. I mean, it's definitely a steep learning curve, that's for sure. Both those movies came out when my wife was born. That's crazy. Duck Boy, hello, Duck Boy. Good to see you. I'm 10 years older than her. Nice. Yeah, those movies came. I was still pretty young when those movies came out. The first Lord of the Rings was like in '01, right? 99, 2000, '01. So I was still pretty young. I'm working on Geometry Dash again. Should probably code something. Go for it. Code away. We'll all be here working with you. Good morning, Drecker. Welcome in. Glad you're here. Max Dev Mastery after a month of learning Rust. Fuck. I'm guessing that's what you said was fuck. Love to see many people here. Yeah, Ilmani, yeah, we're having a party now. Although Twitch, there's only a couple of you holding it down on Twitch. Lord of the Rings, never watched before? Oh, wow. You gotta watch it, man. It's so good. Rust, Crab versus Python. Well, that's an easy one for me. I'll write just about anything over Python. Should I switch to the Twitch group? I mean, you could. I mean, I'm okay with whichever like platform is better for you. That's the platform I'd say to use. Yeah, everybody wishes they could go back and watch Lord of the Rings for the first time. I would watch it, but I don't know if Netflix has it, and I don't know the sequence. I think it's on HBO Max, but I don't think it's on Netflix. Hunger Games is good. Yeah, Hunger Games is good. Start with the Hobbit series first. I would agree with that. I mean, you can really watch them in any order you want, but yeah, I kind of like the idea of going chronological. Hobbit isn't required. Well, yeah, I don't think it's required, but I like the idea. The Office and Final Space greater than everything. Yeah, I don't know about Final Space, but The Office. The Office is my ultimate comfort show. I've watched that show 15 times, start to finish. I can quote that show forwards, backwards, upside down. I love that show so much. Well, I guess Netflix might buy HBO Max, so maybe.
Did we just become best friends?
Thanks, Root Monster, for the follow on Twitch. Appreciate that. The books are good. Yep. I've only read The Hobbit though. I haven't read the Lord of the Rings series, the trilogy. So I need to read those. Yes, indeed. That's a good saying for learning Rust too. May the odds be forever in your favor. The Office is so good. It really is. It is just so good. Wow, 15. Yeah. I watched The Office. Basically, The Office got me through college essentially. Was this on straight repeat? Man, I got bored in the middle of The Office. Really? Nah, man, you got I mean, nobody has to like stuff, so I get it if you don't like it. Hey, what's up, Val? Good to see you again, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for being a member, man. Really appreciate it. I did watch the Hunger Games. I did not read the books. My wife read the books, which is why we ended up watching the show. But the movies, and the movies were good though. Great again, Pro. When you have time, can you answer my quiz question? I'm guessing what you meant. Sure, man. I'm happy to give you my thoughts. Let's rewrite it in Rust. Yes, everything. The world. Just rewrite the world in Rust. It's a rule in our house. Read the book before you watch the movie. That's not a bad rule. That's not a bad rule at all. Although I would have, when the first time I saw Lord of the Rings, I would have been like, I don't know, maybe late elementary or early middle school or something like that, you know? But yeah, I would agree. If you can read the book first, it's the way to go. I like the vibe to be frank, I think is what TBF means. Just a bit slow. I mean, it can. I mean, I mean, it's generally a slow show, right? I mean, it's a TV show about paper salesmen or a paper company. I watch stuff at 2x. Oh boy, I can't do 2x. My wife listens to her audiobooks at 2x. It's too fast, man. It overwhelms me. My 11-year-old has read the whole series, including the Harry Potter series. That's awesome, man. Your 11-year-old's a great reader, killing it. 2x for the memes. I can't do it sped up, man. I understand why people do it, and I think if I could do it, I would. But every time I tried to do 2x, I'm just left thinking, no, man, I can't take this.
Well,
2x
how
with
about that? Welcome to the
Val.
party, pal.
Val, you're nuts, man. Thank you so much,
Welcome to the
Val.
party, pal. Welcome
Let's
to the party,
go.
pal.
Dude, that's too kind of you.
Welcome to the party, pal. Welcome to the party, pal. Welcome to the party, pal. Welcome to the party, pal.
Yeah, let's go. All the gifted mims.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Thank you very much, Val. That's too kind of you, man.
Welcome to the party, pal. Welcome to the party, pal.
That was too kind, man. Thank you very much, Val. Appreciate you. Very kind. It works. It does work. It works indeed. We got it figured out. The last time Val was here, I didn't have the gifted membership alert set up. How many is that? 10. He gifted 10 mems. Yes, he did. Val giving Steven and his family free dinner. Dude, I just appreciate any of the support. I mean, it means it's crazy to me that people would be willing to support me with some of their hard-earned money. I know how hard it is to earn a living, you know. So, thank you very much again. All right, should we do some reading? We're going to do some Rust book reading. We're doing the interactive version though. The one that's on brown.edu. So we already did that. I think we're on variables. Yes, variables. Morning 199. Good to see you here. All right, I'm gonna lurk and get some work done. Well, lurk away, Inspire. Thanks for being here, man. Really appreciate it. Let's see, learn Rust. There we go. And we're in. Excuse me. Jacob. I'm gonna call you Jacob. Morning, Steven. How's Rust going? Well, we just got started for the day, but yeah, it's going well. I think so far. I mean, I'm trying to do a little bit of both. I'm types of learning. I'm trying to do some structured learning. I'm trying to do some unstructured learning. Excuse me, but so far, I like it. Do you have NeoVim on Windows or WSL? I use NeoVim on the Windows side. I don't really use WSL much more than for supporting Docker desktop. That's about it. Big streamers win donations. Oh wow, thanks. Now anyways, Steven. Oh hey, thank you. I know how hard it is to make money, so giving it to me was very thoughtful. It is. Yeah, it is. I mean, I just know firsthand. I mean, I'm still at a place in my life where I'm just now getting my financial feet underneath me, right? So I really understand the value of a dollar. It's a Polish spelling for Jacob. Happens every time. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. Jacob. That's easy, man. Jacob. And also very cool that you're Polish. Or I'm assuming you're Polish if your name is Polish spelling. Val, what app are you using? What app am I using for what, Val? The stream, you mean? For the alerts and whatnot? WSL is just faster. I don't know what they did, but the performance on WSL is much better. Oh, that's awesome. I haven't noticed much of a performance issue myself using NeoVim on the Windows side, but that's great that the performance is really good on WSL. I'm happy to hear that. All right, we're going to learn about variables and mutability. No, on the screen when you type. This right here. This is PowerShell. Yeah, this is PowerShell. And then this thing right here, the editor I use in PowerShell is NeoVim. Sorry, I don't know why I blanked on that. NeoVim. This guy right here. This is NeoVim. All right, here we go. This is one of the many nudges Rust gives you to write your code in a way that takes advantage of the safety and easy concurrency that Rust offers. Node.js performance is huge. I completely switched to WSL because the difference is huge. Well, I'm glad to hear the performance is so good. I haven't actually done any benchmarking between WSL and Windows myself, but it's nice to hear that it's good over there. I think if I was going to use WSL, I'd just buy a computer and set up a Linux machine. Actually, I saw a Rust video by No Boilerplate. Taught most of Rust in just under 20 minutes. Might be useful as a quick reminder video. I don't need any reminders though, Jacob. That's the thing. I don't need any reminders. I just need to actually learn the language. I'm a noob. I'm a brand new noob. However, you still have the option to make your variables mutable. Let's explore how and why Rust encourages you to favor immutability and why sometimes you might want to opt out. I only use WSL2 for Docker on local dev before deployments. Yeah, that's for root monsters. That's the same way I use it. Yeah, same way. I think if I was gonna like use WSL as like a development environment, I'd just set up a Linux machine and develop on it. Yowin, how are you, Yowin? Good to see you. Even so, a really concise video. Are you learning from Let's Get Rusty? No, this is the Rust programming language book. So this is kind of like the official documentation or the official language learning material, the official language learning resource. But it's on brown.edu because they added like interactive quizzes and stuff. But that's what I'm using, is the Rust programming language book. It's just PowerShell 7 doesn't look like the same on my computer. Oh, Val, that's because I've customized it quite a bit. Like this right here, Val, is I'm using a tool called Oh My Posh. Oh My Posh. And I think you can get there by going to ohmyposh.dev. That's how I make it look pretty like that, is using that tool. And then the text that shows up, like my command history, that's coming from a module called, this is from a module called PS Read Line. PS Read Line is where that is how that's getting set up in there. And then if you type in the chat, if you type exclamation point PWSH or exclamation point oh my posh, you should get my configurations. They should post back to you. Jacob, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely keep that video in mind. I don't really need concise at the moment. You know, I need like deep, in-depth learning materials to get me up to speed. Ton, hello Ton, how are you? Why did you choose to learn Rust? Just cause we had just come off learning Go, and we were wrapping up a project that I built for collecting donations from people, like a Buy Me a Coffee website. And I think it was either Bob, Noel, or Oblivious. There are a couple chatters that hang out here on stream with me quite a bit. They had recommended, hey, you should give Rust a try, and so we just jumped in. Really, nothing more theoretical or academic than that. I do love Oh My Posh. It really is. Oh My Posh is great. Oh My Posh is wonderful. Abdil, I think is how you say your name. Abdil. Hi, hello Abdil. Good to see you. See Artwork Studios. Have a good day, man. Yo, Melty, what's up, man? How's it been? Good to see you. Is this the first stream of learning Rust because I want to get in learning Rust too? It is for the most part. I mean, we spent yesterday a little bit working through the I think we're in the first chapter of the book. But yeah, we're very early on in the learning Rust phase. How long did it take you to get a good grasp on Go? Well, we spent all of November learning it. So was that 30 days or something like that? And then we spent all of December using it to solve coding problems, coding challenges. We did Advent of Code in it. So I would say by the end of those 30 days in November, I feel like I had a good. At the end of the day, at the end of the 30 days in November, so I probably did 2 to 3 hours of Go every day for 30 days. And when I got to the end of it, I really didn't think too much about the fact that I was writing Go anymore. I was just writing code again. It didn't feel foreign. So probably that long. Ilmanian, what Rust library did you use? What Rust library did I use for my desktop app, Ilmanian? I'm using a library called Rust or Iced RS. Iced RS. This is the desktop thing we're using. I'm guessing that's what you meant. Milty, doing good. Been working on setting up an MCP server for my Claude Code CLI. Tried out the Gemini CLI. Got some cool new processes made, so that was fun. That's awesome, man. Yeah, Gemini CLI is good. I've never tried the Claude Code CLI before. I've never been a subscriber to Claude. Always wasted. Good morning, always wasted. Hopefully you're not really always wasted, but good morning. What was your first language? I started coding with Batch when I was 8, and it was the only language I know to exist. I've never written much Batch or many Batch files. The first language I wrote was C#. Yep, C#. That was back in like 2015. And then after C#, I picked up JavaScript. And then after JavaScript, I picked up TypeScript. And then it was Python. And then Go. And now Rust. All right, when a variable is immutable, once a value is bound to a name, you can't change that value. To illustrate this, generate a new project called variables in your projects directory by using cargo new variables. Then, in your new variables directory, open source main rs and replace its code with the following code, which won't compile just yet. I don't think I need to do this. I mean, I think we understand this. We understand this just in basics from building the application so far. We have to use the mut keyword to make this work. The Rust compiler guarantees that when you state that a value won't change, it really won't change. So you don't have to keep track of it yourself. Your code is thus easier to reason about, which I love. That's why I think that's why immutability is where you should start on everything. Python was my first back in 2017, 2018. Nice. Yeah, I think Python's a good first programming language. It's not my favorite, though, I'll admit. Python's not my favorite at all. But I think it's a good programming language. I understand why a lot of people like it and use it. What would you say the best stack is to master to land your first job? Or is it more reliant on the project you choose to make that you actually enjoy? I don't know. I guess if I was trying to land a job, my focus would be on learning the stack that's most employable, which I think in 2025 it was Java, JavaScript, and Python. I think those were the three most kind of employable programming languages. But yeah, if getting a job was my number one priority, that's what I would focus on myself, Jacob. And I would try to make sure that any projects I build were oriented towards the things that I want to get a job in, if that makes sense. Melty, I joined a vibe coding 1 hour challenge the other day to make a diff viewer. Won a month of a Claude subscription. Nice, that's awesome. Claude is legit the best, but I've kind of gone full force and have made full on minimal text editor with a project manager. Hey, that's not bad. I'll feel you. What's up, Abdul? How are you, man? Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry, big young. Val, I appreciate your young age. Well, thank you, Val. I don't feel young, but yeah, 32. I'm guessing you're 20 years my senior or 10 years my senior. 199. I started with Python. Nice. I like it. Python feels good, but feels lazy and too something. I don't know what you were saying at the end there at Root Monsters, but yeah, I don't know if it's laziness. It's there's really nothing. It's one of those like it's not you, it's me situations. It's nothing with Python, and it's everything with me, right? That's why I don't know why, but it just is not the language that has really stuck with me. The more I learn, the more I understand the issues that people would have with it. Yeah, I mean every language though has issues, right? Excuse me, Jacob noted. I'm gonna go do that. I'm learning to also try containerize some past projects to learn more Docker. Have fun with Rust, dude. Oh, nice. That sounds like a great plan. Yeah, Docker rocks. Containerization is a must. That's how I deploy everything now, is in containers. Makes life so much easier. But yes, we will have fun learning Rust. It will be a good time. I've been hearing a lot about Rust. What's it about? It's just a different programming language. I mean, there's interesting and unique things about it in terms of how it manages memory, but it's just another programming language. It's not like God's gift to it's not like God's gift to the earth or anything like that. It's just another programming language. Always wasted. I'm still in high school and 18. You're still in high school and you're 18, but you're always wasted? No, what has happened? Python and Java are the only ones taught here, and I think it's pretty good to learn before college. No, oh for sure, Python and Java. Yeah, those were two of the three most employable, I think, languages in 2025. So those are definitely great languages to learn. Abdul, I'm good. Well, that's good to hear, man. I'm glad you're doing well. But bro, how do you stay so consistent? Were there days when it just felt impossible to sit on the PC to code, like an invisible wall? Oh, for sure. For sure there are, Abdul. I mean, it's just like working out. I love to work out, but there are days when I don't want to go to the gym, you know? The thing is that those are the days when it's most important to show up, right? If you do it on days when it's hard, then you can do it on days when it's easy. So it just takes some practice turning that little voice in your head, that little voice that's like, no, you don't need to code today, or no, you don't need to stream today, or no, you don't need to go to that little, whatever that little voice is. You have to use that as a trigger to be, you kind of have to be like, no, you know, fuck that, watch this, right? Like you gotta, whatever that thing is in your, that little sneaky feeling in the back of your brain, you have to use that as a cue to like double down on your commitment to whatever the thing is you want to do. But 100%, there are days when you don't want to do stuff, and that's when you say, you know, well, I've heard people express it like, you know, fuck your feelings, stick to the plan, right? That's the life isn't about doing things based on how you feel. It's about doing things that move you closer to your goal. You know, I will believe, think, and do only things which move me towards my goal. Rust is fast. That's all I know about it. That's all I've heard about it. I've heard Rust is very fast and memory safe. Those are the two things that everybody always says about the language that make it a great language. The best language to learn is the language that keeps you engaged with learning. I like that take. I like that take a lot. I like that take a lot. I think though at some point like you're that then meets the world, which is like if the only language that keeps you engaged is Haskell and you're trying to get a job, well, I don't know about you, but there aren't a lot of jobs that use Haskell. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, it's like yes, I love that advice, but then at the same time, it's like you've got to also balance it with the real world, right? I'm doing Django today. Nice, very cool. Val, you are yawning and making me do the same. But yeah, I wish I was 32. I switched to Python from C Sharp just because. Oh, nice. You're a C Sharp writer. I like that, Val. Well, no wonder you come over to the stream and ball out. C Sharp people are the best people. I say that, and I'm kind of biased when I say that though. Let's see. For me, for the days where I feel I'm fully brick walled, I just add the time onto the next day and make up for what should have done. I think that's I think that's okay. I think that's okay. I just always think of that. I don't like I don't like saying I'm gonna do something and then not follow through with doing it. If I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. You know, and I feel like telling myself the lie of like, oh, tomorrow I'm gonna get up and stream and then not getting up and streaming, but telling myself, "Oh, I'll just do it. I'll just add 2 hours onto the next thing." I don't know. It feels like almost like a little micro lie to myself, right? Um, so yeah, I don't know. I think if you make a plan, you stick to the plan. You don't let your feelings dictate what it is you do. A different language I'm learning is Bash right now because I started using Linux. It's good to know about it if I want to be in IT, I guess. Oh yeah, Bash. If you're an admin, like if you're a sysadmin, yeah, knowing Bash or knowing PowerShell, right? Those are great languages because they're baked into the OS, so they're there out of the box, right? And you so if you need to do things without much available to you on the machine, having the ability to script in those languages is great. My favorite language is C++, one of the best languages to learn and powerful. Very cool. I've never written any C++, but lots of people have said good things about it. Did Kara code? Did Kadar code? Good morning. And also, we need to answer that question. Did Kadar code? Have you coded today? Or recently? All right, so this chapter is a lot about mutability. Let's see, mutability can be very useful. You can make code more convenient to write. Although variables are immutable by default, you can make them mutable by adding mut. Awesome. Mut also conveys intent to future readers of the code by indicating that other parts of the code will be changing this variable's value. I like that. All right, time for a quiz. Which statement best describes what it means if a variable x is immutable? X cannot be changed after being assigned a value. Yes. What is the keyword used after let to indicate that a variable can be mutated? That would be mut. Determine whether the program will pass the compiler. If it passes, write the expected output of the program if it were executed. It does not compile. Excuse me very much, guys. Sorry, I keep coughing. What time are you going to bed? I'm going to bed around 5 a.m., but you being up at 4 a.m. and streaming means you are a very early bird. Well, I'm only an early bird. I only recently became an early bird when I wanted to stream for longer periods of time. I stopped getting up early maybe when my kids turned like 4 or 5 because getting up early just meant that they then got up early. But recently, I started getting up early because of streaming. I'm typically in bed like last night. I was in bed at like 9, something like that. Yeah, I try to if I'm gonna stream in the morning, I try to get into bed between 8 to 10. I don't always make that happen. Like some days I have some stuff I want to take care of after work, and that carries me closer to midnight. But for the most part, yeah, somewhere between 8 and 10. Deal. Which website is this? This is the Rust programming language book, but it's a special version of it that they made that has quizzes embedded in it. I'll post a link in the chat. Let's see, you're over there on the vertical YouTube, aren't you? Give me one sec. Oh no, you're on the horizontal YouTube. You're a member. Let's go. At Abdil. There you go. I just put the link in the chat there for you, buddy. I have 2 coding sessions during the day, so I'm about to start my second session right now. It's 2 p.m. for me. Nice, dude. Let's go. I ain't gonna lie, like I'm learning game dev with Unity right now at school. I think about getting home and making something sick, but when I open the PC, I disappear faster than John Cena. You do one of these? Dun 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 dun. You can't see me. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how to help you with that one. I mean, if you're already there, if you've gotten all the way to the point of opening your PC, you're there. You just got to put your fingers on the keyboard and go. Which pronunciation is right, mutt or mute? I always say mutt, but maybe mute is right. Let's ask SpeakerBot. Let's see how SpeakerBot says it. We can also try Google Translate too. Just curious. Let's see. Let's see.
In Rust, you can make a variable mutable with the mutt keyword.
Yeah, mutt. Well, in English, that's how. Yeah, mutt. That's how I would say it. The E, I think, is what makes it mute. But English is weird. So yeah, I would say mutt. Is there a resource to learn Go that has this sort of quiz? I know the basic syntax, but I don't quite know anything about the language. Dizzy David, the resources I use to learn Go were, I don't know of anything with quizzes like this, but I used go.dev/tour. That was one of the resources I used, was this guy. And then the other one I used was Learn Go with Tess. Sorry, Learn Go with Tess. These were the 2 resources I used to learn Go, and I really enjoyed them. I thought they were both good. There's a little bit of duplicity between the 2. So a tour of Go is much shorter and less in-depth. So I would probably start with Tour of Go and then go to Learn Go with Tess. That would be my recommendation. How long have you been using NeoVim for? Also, is this really Twitch TV customer support? Nice username, man. I've been using NeoVim since like January or February 2025. 2025 was when my side quest in NeoVim began. It's been fun. Yeah, it's been really good fun. Abdil, thanks, man. Of course, yeah. Happy to share. Is Go a good language for making CLI tools, and are there other best options too? Yeah, I think Go's great for CLI tools. It sounds like Rust is a good language for CLI tools. I've built a lot of CLI tools with C Sharp. Apparently, there's a library in TypeScript / JavaScript land called Commander. That's pretty nice for building CLIs. So I think you can really pick any language you want, man. Honestly, for a command line interface. If you're talking about a TUI though, that might be different. If you're talking about like an actual proper terminal user interface, like what you have in Claude Code or Open Code, like that type of it, or Lazy Git, that's kind of a different thing. But if you're just trying to build a command line interface, yeah, I think you can go with just about any language. Currently learning. Oh, that's not for me. Sir Van Goofy. Good morning, sir. I love your emote, man. Thanks for using that. Appreciate you. Yeah, sounds right. What's up, Born to Shine? I'm doing good. Yeah, Steven over here is doing well. I hope you're doing well too. Slow you. Hi, nice to meet you. Well, nice to meet you too. That's about the nicest first message anyone's ever left in chat before. Talk about being polite. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Have you tried Rustlings? I guess you would love that side by side with the book. Yeah, so that's the next thing I think after the book is Rustlings for sure. When you say GIF, do you say GIF or GIF? I say GIF. I don't know if that's right, but that's what I say. Abdul, my mom keeps getting mad since I sleep all day and code all night, but I told her sleeping is part of the process. She didn't take that well. Well, it's probably not the fact that you're sleeping she has issue with. It's probably the fact that you're living like a bat. That she probably doesn't like the fact that you're sleeping all day. Dizzy W, thanks for answering. I have a couple books that I've been avoiding, but I guess I need to read if I want to get good. Also, love watching your shorts when they pop up. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you, Dizzy. I appreciate it. My plan is to keep doing it as long as I'm having fun, and I'm still having fun. So that's that's very nice of you to come and offer that as a compliment. Oh, what the fuck? I'm Maddox. You're back, dude. I haven't seen you in forever in one of my streams. How are you? Yeah, it's been a long time, man. Or maybe you've been here and you've just been lurking, but I haven't seen you around. Hope life is treating you well. Hope work isn't too crazy. Good to see you. All right, so we've also got constants, which is great. So constants are values that are bound to a name and are not allowed to change, but there are a few differences between constants and variables. Working a shit ton. I'm building a game server, teaching myself Lua and CSS. Oh yeah, so you're too busy for my shit. You're working and trying to build a game? That's baller, dude. Well, good on you. I'm glad you're busy. I'd much rather you be busy with your life than and miss my streams than not be busy. So that's good. Hopefully work's not running you too ragged though. All right, first allowed, you aren't allowed to use mut with constants. Constants aren't just immutable by default, they're always immutable. Well, that's wonderful. We'll cover types and type annotations in the next section, so don't worry about the details right now. Just know that you must always annotate the type. Constants can be declared in any scope, including the global scope, which makes them useful for values that many parts of your code need to know about. The last difference is that constants may be set only to a constant expression, not the result of a value that could only be consumed at runtime. So there's a constant declaration. Nice. The naming convention for constants is to use all uppercase with underscores between words. Easy enough. That's called snake case. Let's see. Well, I guess snake case would all be lowercase, so I don't know what you call that. Big snake case, which lets us choose to write out this value in a way that's easier to understand and verify rather than setting this constant to the value 10,800. See Rust's reference section on constant evaluation. Constants are valid for the entire time a program runs within the scope in which they were declared. Okay. Which of the following statements is correct about the difference between using let and const to declare a variable? The compiler will err if a const variable's name is not using upper snake case. Const can be used in the global scope. Let can only be used in a function. A const can only be assigned to a literal, not an expression involving computation. They are just different syntaxes for declaring variables with the same semantics. I think this one is true. Determine whether the program will pass the compiler. If it passes, write the expected output of the program if it were executed. It does compile, and it would be 2. Yeah, let's go. I'm batting 1,000% right now. I stalled on game dev because people out there saying you got to be some math genius or some shit to start, when in reality it's 6th grade concepts. People are crazy. Yeah, I don't know. Game dev has never interested me, Abdul, personally. But I think there are times in game dev where you do find yourself having to deal with more advanced math. But I think a lot of the tools people use today to build games try to help abstract a lot of that, right? A lot of the game engines now try to just allow you to build games in more of a declarative way, I think, in a lot of cases. But it's never, I'm kind of talking out of my ass because game development's just never been my forte. Good morning, I Love Lamp. Let's see, I dreamt that you used to stream 2 years ago and were a gamer. You played horror games, and on one stream I was watching the black monsters chasing you, went out of the screen, and scared the crap out of me. Then I woke up. Well, that's a wild dream. I would never play horror games. I don't do any scary movie stuff. I don't do scary games. I don't do scary movies, scary shows. I do not like the feeling of being scared at all. I hate it so much. I don't know why anyone would voluntarily do that to themselves, you know? You were also nonchalant. Yeah, well, there's no way you're catching me in that game. I tried game dev before, but almost zero coding. I used Game Maker 8.1, where it's 90% drag and drop and 10% scripting, in my opinion. Yeah, it's interesting. Watching people build with like Unity is kind of interesting because it's sort of a mishmash. It's a mismatch of like drag and drop, GUI, and code, like all smashed together. It's a very interesting activity to watch, and it seems like it requires you to be very much both a left brain and a right brain person. Like you have to be creative, but also logical. My favorite guy to watch build games on stream is Adam Yanis. He's a Twitch streamer. Adam Yanis. This guy right here. He's really, really talented. My favorite thing to watch him do is...
Did we just become best friends?
We did. Chakar, thanks for the follow. He's my favorite because one of the things he'll do live on stream is he'll do his pixel art. And every time he does his pixel art, I'm just blown away by how good he is at creating stuff just like without... He makes it look so easy. And to me, I'm just stunned. Like, how does anybody do that? But he's a lot of fun to watch build games. His streams are super off my hours though. I think he's in the UK, so when he goes live, it's usually like super late in the evening here. I use Godot for my cat adventure. Okay, nice. Yeah, I'd like to try to learn because I think Godot supports C# as a programming language, so I'd like to learn that. Let's see. Also, AI has revolutionized, obviously, just like any other field. The free version of ChatGPT can give you some crazy physics formulas and shit. AI making moves for real. Yeah. I've had kind of a crisis over the last 3 days around AI. Like, I'm basically at the point, I think, where I'm going to pull Copilot out of all my editors. I'm going to turn it off. Yeah, for the last, like, 3 days, I've had this terrible sense of anxiety about, is AI gonna make me a shittier programmer? Like, is AI gonna fool me into thinking I'm a better programmer than what I am? And that has, bye, Amanian. Have a good sleep, man. And that has kind of motivated me to think about moving it out of my editor. I'll still use it like in the chat interface probably, but I don't think I'm going to use the tab completion anymore. Man, I've had a lot of yawns today. Just never stop. I think that means I need more coffee. It does as an extra free thing. You use Iced. I was in their Discord server because one of my friends used their server tag. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I haven't joined their Discord server, but yeah, I've been using Iced to build a desktop app. It's like a notepad app, basically. That's what we're kind of bouncing between learning Rust and then using Rust to build something. And we're kind of like ping-ponging back and forth between those two activities. But it's called Zoe is the name of the app because it's a baby crab. Because I'm a baby crab. See if I can do cargo run. Abdul, I also have similar feelings toward AI, but it's not a choice anymore. Adapt or get left behind type shit. Yeah, and that's, see, Abdul, I don't believe that. I don't believe it. And I'm not willing to sacrifice it. I'm not willing to sacrifice my own abilities for the sake of someone else's productivity demands. And if that means I'm not employable as a programmer in 2026, I'm fine with that. I'll go do other work, but I'm not going to sacrifice my skills or my opportunities to get really good at something just because somebody wants me to be 10x more productive. I'm just not going to do it. Yeah, this is the app we're building. It's like a notepad app. So far, it's been working pretty good. Still got a lot to add to it, but it works. We're gonna make it be able to render Markdown. That's the plan. What is your stand on being a 1 verse 2 verse 3 verse 4 plus programmer? I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Can you explain that a little bit, TTV? Customer support? Sleep soft, summon grows ever stronger. I'm born gently toward the land of dreams. I therefore bid you a most. Oh, I was like, what is he saying? And then he said, I therefore bid you a most hearty wish for splendid success in your streaming, and take my leave. Well, that's super nice of you, Val. Also, W on that message. I don't know if that took you a long time to write, but that was awesome. Thanks again for the gifted members, man, and being a member. I really appreciate it. It's more than I deserve, right? And I never expect it. So, but I very, very, very much appreciate it. Thank you very much. What is the best AI in coding? I don't use much AI because I still have the habit of using the Google search, and I'm still using ChatGPT. Ah, man, I don't know. I don't have a great answer for this. Like I said, I've kind of in the last 3 days had this really strong conviction where I need to take AI out of my editors and I need to restrict myself to just using AI within chat interfaces. Doesn't mean I stop using AI. I just think I need to get it out of my editors. Basic Notepad on Windows doesn't render Markdown. I mean, it would be cool. I don't know if it doesn't render Markdown. I think it might, but that's my hope, is that I can make a similar tool that also allows you to preview Markdown. I mean, it's not like I'm actually trying to replace Notepad. I mean, Notepad is perfectly capable application, but I needed a project to learn Rust with, so that's what I picked. Skeletor Goat, hello. It has been a while. Everything is well over here. I'm healthy. My wife's healthy. My kids are healthy. I've got food in my pantry. I've got some money in my bank account. I've got nothing to complain about. TTV customer support monitor programmer. Huh, I don't like, for whatever reason Twitch didn't like what you put next to programmer. It put a little bit of asterisk there. So I don't know what you mean by different levels. I guess is what you're asking. Are you like a 1, 2, 3? Like I guess that's what you're asking. I'm not really sure. Abdul Facts. I'm gonna live homeless, then use AI to write my code. No one can tell me what to do. I mean, honestly, if you don't pay my salary, I probably don't listen to much of what anybody has to say. That's pretty much like I'm gonna live my life based on my own thoughts and opinions. And aside from getting that paycheck, there's not much anybody can do to influence me. I mean, I'll do whatever it takes to provide for my family, but beyond that, I'm gonna do what I want. Slow you. Are your projects on GitHub? Oh, for sure. Yeah, I try to put all the code I write on GitHub. So if you just type !GitHub in the chat, one of my bots will get back to you with the link. It's a really easy link to remember. It's just github.stephenfreeborn.com. I have a bunch of vanity URLs set up like that to make it easy to find my stuff. Customer support, yeah. Well, I don't know. I think anytime people TTV customer support, I think anytime people try to apply levels to things is difficult. You know, it reminds me a lot of like different belts in jujitsu, right? Depending on what gym you train at, a purple belt means wildly different things. A purple belt typically means it's usually a pretty good proxy of you're good at jujitsu, or you've been doing it, a while. But depending on what gym you're training at, you might have blue belts that can that can kick other purple belts from a different gym's ass, right? And so it's difficult whenever you want to apply levels to stuff. It's difficult to have one shared understanding of what does a level 1 programmer versus level 2 versus level 3 versus you know what I mean? A level 1 programmer at Meta compared to level 1 programmer at Johnny's IT shop in Ohio, right? Like are these people comparable? I don't know, right? Notepad. I remember using that for bats. There's one time though I used WordPad for coding with it. Laughed my fucking ass off. I use Notepad a lot. Like I'll use Notepad a lot in terminal. Like I'll say Notepad, and then I'll use it to capture really short snippets of text that I just want to ephemerally save for a little bit. So that's my plan, is to replace that usage with my own app. Or that's my thinking at the moment. Have you tried Linux? I don't use Linux in a desktop environment, but I have quite a few servers that I host things on that I can SSH into if I want to use Linux, and I'll usually do that. I also have WSL set up on my local machine, but if I need Linuxy stuff, I usually just head over to one of my servers and do whatever it is I need to do over there. So yeah, I love Lamp. Have a good day, man. Let's see. Hi, Stephen. Have been following you for a while. Just want to say shout out to your calm, kind approach to everything. Keep up the great work. That's terribly nice, dude. It's very, very nice of you to say. I do try to have a calm and kind approach. I'm not always calm. Was it Tuesday morning? No, it was Wednesday morning. I was kind of crashing out over trying to learn Rust, but I do my best to try to stay relatively calm and relatively kind, relatively centered. You know, life is just so long. I mean, I think that's the thing, is like, now that I have kids, I'm 9 years into this whole parenting journey, almost 10 years in. My perspective on the timeline has shifted so much. I realize that, like, you know, I've got so much time ahead of me. I've got 20, 30, hopefully 40 more years of life, right? And so I try not to let the hype of things get to me too much. try to focus on the things I can control and not let the other stuff get to me too much. Abdul, you said you got into tech pretty late. Honestly, do you wish you could have started sooner, or are you chill about it? Oh, I would have loved to got started sooner. I think what's crazy, Abdul, about my tech journey, this is kind of a wild aspect to it, is my dad. So my dad growing up, so when I was little, my dad was a grocery store manager. And then when I was like 7, no, this would have been 1999. So I'd have been 6. Yeah, 6. So in 99, my dad left the grocery store business. He was a store manager for many years, like 13 years. He ran a store, and he left that business, or he quit that business because it was too stressful. He went to work selling phone books for a little bit, and then he got a job at a local computer store. It was called the Computer Patch, and they were specifically kind of focused on helping people with uh, Macintosh, MacBooks, Apple products. And he worked there for like, I don't know, a year or so. And I remember going up with him to the store and like watching him work on computers and repair stuff and do all those IT things. And then in like a year later, he got a job as an IT guy at the high school for the school district in my town. And he did that the whole time I was growing up, like all the way until I was through high school and into college. So what's wild, why I say that story is because I had a direct connection to the technology field my whole childhood, but never once did my parents really ever talk to us about a career in IT or a career in technology, which is kind of wild when you think about that. My parents were always kind of like, you're going to become a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, right? They were always pushing us kids to become like professionals. And so, yeah, I wish that would have been a conversation more in my household growing up, is like, you can have a job as a programmer or a coder or a sysadmin, these types of things. But that it's okay. Things work out the way they're supposed to. So your life is your life. There's no sense in trying to relitigate it or rehash it too much. Things are the way they are for whatever reason. Look above or below. Well, I love lamp. Why am I looking either place? You're supposed to be gone. You said you were leaving. And now you're back. Could you say something about what you enjoy doing a YouTube channel? Oh, sure. So I've kind of explained this before. I make YouTube content largely because it kind of marries the. So one of the things I really love to do is I like to make things. I like to write. I like to make videos. I was making videos and writing blogs on the internet long before I ever got into tech. Um, most of it was centered around being a dad or fitness, something in those worlds. And I just enjoy the act of creating. The more things I make, the less time I spend consuming content and the more time I spend creating content, the better I feel, the more motivated I feel, the more inspired I feel, the more I want to do other things. And so it's a very selfish activity. It's just something that makes me feel good and I enjoy doing and have a lot of fun. So that's why I continue to do it. Drecker, did you buy those Linux servers? So I have 2 servers that are here in my house that are old, like I have one that's a Dell Optiplex, and then I have one that's a old MacBook Air, and then I have another that's like old PC computer, PC laptop. I don't remember the exact make or model of that. And then I have one VPS that's hosted in a public cloud. So I use a lot of the stuff here in the house for home labbing or small projects, and then anything that's a little bit more serious, I'll put out on that public VPS. Good morning, Stu. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Syrian Mamba. Hello, Syrian Mamba. Good to see you. Always wasted. What are the top 5 or 3 languages that you know the most or good at? So I always tell people if you were to ask me today to do a project for you, I would most likely pick C Sharp or TypeScript or a combination of the two. Um, if I had to throw a third one in there, it would probably be Go at this point. It'd be kind of a tie between Go and Python, right? I think I could probably do more with Python, but I think I would enjoy writing Go more, and I would eventually, if I gave Python enough time or if I gave Go enough time and attention, I could probably be as capable in Go as I feel like I am in Python. LOL happens to the best of us. It's not how we act in life, but react. Like we can't control what happens to us, but we can how we respond. True, true. Love the dad story. Brings back memories. 100%. Yeah, it is. That's it, man. You can only control what you can control, which is how you act and how you react, and that's it. That's it. Anytime you fuss about things outside of those, that way lies madness. Drecker, I'm trying to make a website, but I need a good hosting service and a cheap one. So, Drecker, is your website going to be a static website or is it going to have a backend? What I mean by that, are you just sticking a bunch of static files onto a server, or do you need a backend that's going to do like processing and serve individual, I mean, I guess even a static site needs a server, but what I'm saying is, does your website need its own separate running backend process to facilitate whatever the thing that you're doing does? Because if you just need to host some static files, GitHub Pages is plenty fine, and it's a free service. Dakar Code. How old were you when you started coding? I started at 19. I took computer programming 1 and computer programming 2 in college. That would have been 2015. So I would have been 21, 22 when I first got exposed to programming and coding, but I didn't really get super serious about it until I started learning free code camp, which would have been 2021, like the spring of 2021. That's when I got really, really serious. Like I always tell people, since the spring of 2021, I've probably written 4 hours. I probably spent 4 hours or more a day coding every day since. There's been very few days where my fingers haven't been on a keyboard in the last 4 years. TTV customer support. I actually stumbled upon your channel when I watched the how I added Emmet to my NeoVim config. Nice. Well, I'm glad you found one of the videos from my channel. That's awesome. Others my age want to be some celebrity or athletes type shit in the future, while my dream is to get an internship, which doesn't even pay me for real. That's why I mostly keep quiet in class. Well, that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their own dream, you know? Not everybody has to want the same thing. Drecker, not static. It has a lot of dynamic stuff. Okay, so you do need. Well, no, I mean, I know, but like, when you say a lot of dynamic stuff, are you saying that like your website is doing a lot of stuff on the back end? I don't mean that you've got like a dynamic UI. I mean on the back end, are you accessing a database? Are you um I don't know, are you talking to some third party API? Are what, like right now in your local development environment, are you spinning up a node server? Are you that kind of depends on how you can get access to free hosting services, because if you're just doing static files, there's lots of services out there that you can pretty much use for free. Um, it's whenever you need to actually have like your own running server, like a node process or a .NET process or something that's going to have a long-lived life running on the back end. That's when you typically have to pay, because you're going to ask for somebody else's compute. I'm doing back into Django framework. Okay, so yeah, you do need a server. Yeah, the Oracle has, I think, the most generous free VPS offering. Um, and it looks like Slow, you said Cloudflare. I've never used Cloudflare, but that might be one if they have a support for running Django apps. I think they have a product called Cloudflare Workers, right? Thanks. Like the me first thing, it is a part of being a creative, I guess. I'm a bit older, so I started around 5 years before internet came. Nice. Yeah. You're older than me then. When, let's see, I was born in 93. So the internet's kind of always been a thing as much as I can remember. Definitely hasn't been, for example, like I don't remember having a Facebook account till I was 17 or 18 in high school. I didn't get my first smartphone until I was a sophomore in college. Um, so like I grew up in the internet era, but I also remember a world where the internet wasn't really a prevalent thing in everyday life, you know? Syrian Mamba. I'm your fan from Syria. I don't know if you know it. Well, I did not know I had any fans in Syria. So thanks for stopping by the stream to let me know. It's very kind of you. I think I saw a video of you about funny code comments in Simpsons Hit and Run source code, or is it you? Not that I no, I don't remember making a comment like that. Eduardo. Hello, Eduardo. Good to see you, man. Prove me wrong. Front end web dev is not tough. I think front end web dev is tough. I mean, I disagree. When you factor in all the complexities of the different browsers, you factor in accessibility. Yeah, I think doing front end web development is tough, in my opinion. I mean, anybody can slop together a website, just like anybody can slop together some endpoints to make a backend that serves some JSON data. But to do it well, to be like a real expert, a true craftsman, it's hard. There's a lot to it. Accessibility in and of itself on the front end is, I mean, somebody could have a whole career specializing in accessibility. Syrian Mamba. I want your advice for me to become a better overall engineer. I'm currently a junior full stack developer at a startup in Saudi Arabia. I'm really finding things hard, so much new things. Let's see. So Syrian, the first thing I'd like to say to you is congratulations. You have achieved what very few people in my stream actually achieve, but claim to want to achieve, and that is to get a job being an engineer. So that is awesome, and you should pat yourself on the back. It requires discipline and hard work and effort and persistence and enthusiasm. So stop for a moment today at some point and just be grateful and thank yourself and celebrate yourself and be proud of what you've accomplished. And then to address your second question about feeling like there's just so much stuff, I think you have to take a deep breath, and remember that life is very long. You do not need to learn and know everything today. It's just, nor is that possible. So take a deep breath, right? Then make a list. Always make a list. Whenever you're feeling overwhelmed, make a list. And on that list, just put all the things that you feel like you need to know, right? Just dump them out of your brain. And then make time regularly each day to spend some time on every item in the list. Not every item that day, but start at the top, make some time, and an hour a day, whatever it is, 30 minutes, whatever you can afford, spend some time on that thing, and then do that every day for the next 20, 30 years. You'll eventually make your way through the list. You know, I mean, just break it down, just like you would solve problems in code. Break it down. Start small. Be consistent, right? Don't let it overwhelm you. And then I would also encourage you to think about what are the things you want to be known for, right? What are the things you want to have deep expertise on? You don't need to have deep expertise on anything, on everything. Just pick something you want to be really, really good at. Do you want to be really, really good at JavaScript? Really, really good at CSS, at styling, at design, performance? Like you pick it. Eduardo, how are you doing? I'm doing well, man. No complaints at all. Life is good. AI will replace HTML programmers. HTML programmers will replace AI. Well, I don't think anybody can make a career out of being an HTML programmer today. I mean, I think that's largely the expectation is, if you want to build things for the web, you just have to know HTML. Today's job market requires a whole dev team in the job description, but is aimed at a front-end position with basic salary. Yeah, job descriptions are always so disconnected from reality. That's just the way of the world, man. People there are people whose job it is to write job descriptions, which means job descriptions always sound better than the actual reality of what that job is. That's the nature of the beast. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Abdul, it was a joke, bro. I'm sorry. You're giving me the vibes that you have never done front end web dev for real. It was a joke, bro. Oh, well, I didn't know it was a joke. I understood what you're saying. It's a joke. I was just saying that like HTML programmers, right? It's not a thing. You're giving me the vibes that you have never done front end web dev. Well, you can go. I don't have to give you any vibes, Abdul. You can go to my GitHub and see the 200 plus projects that are on my GitHub. There's a lot of front end code in those projects. So I don't have to prove or give you vibes that I've done anything. I have verifiable evidence that I've done front end web development. Weren't you? I'm pretty sure you were the person that said front end web dev is not tough. So if anybody's giving the vibes that they never done front end web dev, I think it's you, Abdul. Because anybody who's built a basic login form or a basic auth flow on the front end knows it's not as simple as everybody believes it to be. Are people still questioning the God, Steven? Well, you're welcome to question me. People are always welcome to question me and doubt me. Like I'm always honest and transparent about the things I've done and the things I haven't done and the stuff I know and the things I don't know. There's nothing to be gained about pretending. Jules, I doubt you. I question you. Thank you, Jules. That's totally okay. It's totally okay to doubt and question me. Syrian Mamba, thanks a lot. I think of all the guys here would get this job, but none of them would take because of the salary difference between hiring someone in Syria and the U.S. Well, of course. It's hard to compare. It's hard to compare salaries between different places in the world, right? Cost of living is it's just so vastly different. You're welcome. Well, I appreciate you, Jules. It's 2026. Rust versus C++. I picked Rust. So for me, I've never written C. I've never written C++. And so when I was considering low-level languages to learn, or what I consider lower-level languages to learn, for me it was between Rust and Zig. And I picked Rust because more than anything, it was just in the zeitgeist more than Zig was. Good morning, Butterscotch. Good to see you. Let's see, yeah, but it's kind of ass when the answer to 99% of problems is CSS tweaks. That's not. That's just verifiably not true, Abdul. Like that's just the answer to 99% of problems on the front end is not just tweaking your CSS. That's just not. I'm sorry, man. Like it's just not. I think maybe your experience is just that's your experience, but that's not universal. And I think that's where you have to be careful about basing your beliefs on something purely on your own experience. Good morning, Butterscotch. Good to see you, sir. Stu, some YouTubers are saying folks should avoid Blazor and Razor pages, just stick to learning MVC. Do you have any opinions on that? Well, MVC uses Razor, so regardless, you got to know the Razor syntax. I personally would much rather write Blazor applications than MVC applications. I think if you're going to want to work as a web developer in the .NET space, you probably need to know both. I would guess that the majority of legacy.net solutions out there that are web pages are using probably MVC and not Blazor. But I would much rather build a Blazor app than build an MVC app, in my opinion. Hey, what's up, Raphael? How are you? Replacing all the fans in my PC right now. So many screws. Yeah, and they're just too easy to lose, man. The screws are too easy to lose. What do you like besides programming? I love my family. I love spending time with my family. I love being a dad. I love lifting weights. I love reading. I love to go for the walks. I really do enjoy writing. I don't do enough writing these days, but I really enjoy writing. I find writing makes me think better and think clearer about things. What else? Jiu-jitsu. I really enjoy jiu-jitsu. It's been probably 8 years, 9 years since I've rolled, but I'd really at some point like to get back into jiu-jitsu. What else? Yeah, anything technology related. I mean, that's kind of related to programming, but anything technology related. Will you make a vid about your desk setup? I mean, I can. There's really nothing. There's really nothing to write home about, but I can if you'd be interested in that. Do you think that a turn-based game like Darkest Dungeon is a good project for a front-end CV? I'm trying to learn more JavaScript. I'm having a lot of fun doing it with this project. I don't know if it's a good project for a CV. It sounds like a fun project, though, to have to talk about because it sounds like you're excited about it. And if there are things that you're learning by doing that project that you can map onto your kind of programming journey, right? Your developer journey, I think that's a really positive one. I think what people care about when it comes to CV or portfolio projects, I think they're there to demonstrate that you can do stuff. And I think from a job candidate position, it's probably important that you have some code available publicly so that people who are considering you for a job can at least go make sure that you don't write completely, utterly terrible code, right? But like, is a recruiter gonna care about your Darkest Dungeon, or is the hiring manager going to care about it? Probably not, right? Unless maybe you're interviewing for like a game development job, or you know what I mean? Like, most of the time, people just they just want some verifiable proof that you can build and ship software more than anything. That's my thought on it. Swagger for API documentation. Yeah, Swagger's good. I personally have been using Scalar. So the minimal API template in .NET used to come with Swagger baked into it. And then recently in .NET 9, .NET 10, I think it was in .NET 9. Or maybe it was .NET 10. They pulled that out essentially. They replaced it with an open API support. And so what I've been doing is I've been adding a tool called Scalar, which is, it's kind of like Swagger, but it's a little bit more of a modern UI. That's what I've been using. Look here, I actually have a deployed application. Let's see, that I can show you. Yeah, so this is what Scalar looks like. So it's just a little bit more of a modern UI, but it's very much just Swagger, right? It allows you to provide some interactive documentation, but it's all built from your open API spec. Same thing Swagger does, but that's what I've been using more than anything these days. Raphael, already lost one, laughed my ass off. I'm doing all right. Consider quitting my job at the moment. Not enough space for passion in the company, so the bucket is kind of overflowing right now. I feel you, man. Jobs are tough, dude. Jobs are tough. But yeah, losing screws is the worst. Have you tried split keyboard? I haven't, but people tell me I need to. My problem with split keyboards is they're so damn expensive. I mean, the entry point for these split keyboards are like $100 or more. It's crazy. Abdul. Also, they just hype frameworks like React and Tailwind so much. Just write the damn code. Also, the fuck are you doing importing libraries to print colored console messages? Well, sometimes it's nice to print colored console messages. And who wants to have to remember how to do all the right control sequences to get the ANSI colors to work? We only need to figure out that once. React is fine too. Tailwind is fine as well, in my opinion. What about using Flutter for everything, web, mobile, desktop? Your opinion? I've never used Flutter before, so I see the value of having something that can work cross-platform, being able to have one source of truth that you publish everywhere. I think that's wonderful, but I've never used Flutter before, so I can't speak to it. Fumadocs has such a pretty open API integration. Fumadocs, I've never heard of that before. Fumadocs. Oh, I wonder if that's what Scalar uses under the hood, because the UI of this looks just like Scalar. That does look pretty. Well, thanks for calling that out. Appreciate that. I didn't know about this. Fumadocs. I'm gonna add this one to the list. I love being a good documentation site. Love it. AliExpress sells under $50 split keyboards. Sometimes you have to solder it yourself though. Oh, I don't know. I don't never soldered anything before, so that would be a whole new adventure for me. Who doesn't want a library for console colors? I use a library to build a whole TUI. Yeah, I mean everyone uses a library to build everything. I don't know very many people who are writing everything net new, right? Like, you want to build a desktop app? Doesn't matter what language you use. You're probably using somebody else's library to do most of it, or at least the heavy lifting, right? Flutter is pretty good for sure, but just do not use it for web dev, please. Jules, X videos docs is the best. What? That seems sus. X video docs? That seems sus. Yeah, that. Okay, Jules, I know what you're up to. Yeah, it's very sus. You're you're sus, bro. Have you ever done something design oriented instead of like coding, like game design, 3D on Blender, Photoshop? I know how to use Photoshop a little bit. Um, I use Canva for most things these days, which I know is not probably what real graphic designers use, but that's what I use most days. I have never done much game design, never done anything in Blender. Yeah, that's all. Jules, haha, got you. Hey, what's up, Ryan? I'm out in the boonies, so my signal is horrendous, but I found out last night I'm going to be at Uncle's today. Dude, that's fantastic. Let's go. Congratulations, man. Yeah, my brother just had his second kid in January. Or December, sorry. December. Not even a month old. Yeah, there's nothing better than a new baby, man. It's the biggest blessing to any family, so congratulations. Syria Mamba. Don't you guys really appreciate the internet? Like, here we are, a bunch of guys talking, and will 99% never meet in real life. It is pretty wild. It is very wild. The internet is a crazy, crazy experience. It really is. Abdul, can't blame you. Canva is peak. Yeah, Canva, I really like Canva. Yeah. I find it very easy to use, very straightforward. For 90% of what I use it for, right? It's way simpler to do it in Canva. It works on my phone, works on my browser. But I understand. I understand it's not there are much better, more powerful pro tools out there. But I'm also not trying to be a graphic designer. If I could afford to hire a graphic designer, I would just hire a graphic designer to do all that work. I just can't afford to do that. Jules, gotta have some fun in weekends sitting all alone. I, I guess. I mean, trying to get baiting streamers into opening porn sites on their stream is definitely, I guess, one way to have fun. Why is Canva peak? I'd say Canva's peak just because it's simple to use. You know, if you need to get some logo or some social post right created, you can do it really fast, really easily. Cyber, what's up? Soon to be Prime 2.0. How's it going? I don't think there's no. I'm not going to be Prime 2.0. I don't know. I don't know what the expiration is on my YouTube career, but it's definitely not probably gonna end the way his has ended. But I'm doing good. It's good to see you, Cyberlink. I hope you're having a good morning or a good day, depending on what time it is there for you. Jules, internet is okay. School is better. We could socialize with people without looking at a screen 24/7. Yeah, I mean that's fair. I didn't. I was so happy to be done with school. School was fine, but I would never want to go back to being in school. How do you code if statements and stuff with curly brackets? Do you put the curlies in the same line as the if statement or put under? It depends on the language. Also, the way you refer to that is you can say, do you write almond style, which is the curly underneath, or do you write K and R, which is the curly on the same line? I think that anybody who does anything other than K and R and almond's crazy. And then I just adopt to whatever the language does. So like in Java, I know they follow K and R. In Rust, they do K and R. In JavaScript, most people do K and R. So I just go along with whatever is idiomatic to that language. In C Sharp, I'd use almond, which is curly on a new line, because that's pretty idiomatic for that language. But I just adapt to whatever the style of the language is. Have you tried Google Basil? No, I have not. I have not tried Google Basil. Rust is so tough to learn. It really is, which is probably why I'm sitting here chatting instead of actually actually reading the book. I don't even bother with formatting. I just push leader GF and it does it for me. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Although I do have some opinions on formatting, so I will configure formatting a little bit. Like in JavaScript and TypeScript projects and in C# projects, there is some things that I have some opinions on that I'll configure, but for the most part, I'm happy to just do whatever the language says. If statements should match the function declaration format, I would agree with that. I would say something has gone horribly wrong if you're using different bracket styles within the same code base. I think somewhere along the line we've taken a horrible turn, if that's even a question. I bought an LED monitor bar and it's great. Nice. Well, I'm glad. Glad for you. And Photoshop needs to upgrade its UI for real. Times have changed. Ain't nobody spending that much time looking at 1,000 menus nowadays. That's just an Adobe thing in general. Getting into one of their products is like climbing into an F-16. Visual Studio's the same way. Although the newest Visual Studio, they tried to help reduce some of that cognitive load, but yeah, applications like that have 100 different options hidden in 12,000 different menus, it's difficult. Which AI is good for coding? Claude Code isn't that great, I think. I don't know, man. This is like the Primogen says. This is a very much a shaman activity right now. Everybody has a different opinion, and nobody has any verifiable evidence to back up any of their fucking words. But everyone has an opinion about, well, Gemini is better for this, and Claude Code's better for that, and people just randomly they just go off vibes, man. They're just pulling shit out of their ass and just saying whatever they feel in the moment. And then if you have a different opinion, like if you think Gemini is better than Claude at coding, then the response is always like, well, you're not doing it right. You don't know how to work with the tool correctly. It's all very shamanist. Aerobic, no BS. ChatGPT is good for nothing. I don't know if it's not good for nothing, man. ChatGPT still owns the consumer space. Most people in the consumer space use ChatGPT. A lot of people using ChatGPT, man. What is it? They have like something like 800 million daily active users or some crazy ass number like that. ChatGPT DAUs. There's some crazy 2.5 billion prompts each day. Yeah, somebody's using it for something. I think I miscommunicated. In lists, functions are formatted differently than conditional statements, and there are two different ways to declare conditional statements. Wow, that's some fuckery, Ryan. I there's two different ways to, let's see, in list functions are formatted differently. Yeah, I think that's weird. To format your functions and your conditionals differently, I think that's weird. But again, I've never written any lists before. So it used to be Xbox versus PlayStation in the past. Now it's AI. Fanboys, yeah. Yeah, human beings just like tribalism, man. We like to create tribes and we like to war against those tribes and we like to pit the tribes against one another and we like to be part of tribes. Yeah, it's a thing. Here's my big secret that I never told nobody. I write my C# code in VS Code and not Visual Studio. I think that's a vast majority of people nowadays. I think if you're coming to C# as a new person, you're probably using VS Code with the C# dev kit. You're probably not firing up Visual Studio. And I think that's why the C# dev kit is a thing. I think that's why so much work has gone into the C# dev kit, is because they know they need to make the C# experience in VS Code really good. Yeah, but it's a worse product than the alternatives. People haven't tried. I mean, that's fine. I mean, that's fine to have that opinion that there's better products out there, but it really doesn't matter if people don't use them. You know, if ChatGPT still gets all the use. Abdul, I write it in NeoVim and OpenCode. I write mine in NeoVim. Fuck yeah, I do. Ryan, Lisp, defun, some func, your code, if condition, if true, if false, condition, your code. Man, I can't get over all those parentheses, Ryan. I can't do it, dude. So Ryan, is Lisp your first programming language or is it your most recent one? Because I can't. That looks so different than any code I've ever written before. It looks like some combination of to me it looks like some combination of Lua plus maybe some JavaScript in there, but where there should be some curlies, there's parens. You definitely want some rainbow highlighting, to differentiate in your editor which parens goes with which one. Also, the Unity Microsoft. I've never used Unity before, so I don't know anything about that tool chain. Ryan missed a closing brace. Damn it! That's why you need some editor support, so you don't ever miss a closing brace, huh? All right, I should probably do. Actually, I'm gonna go get some coffee, and then I'm gonna try to focus on doing some rest real quick. But first, more coffee. We had a lot of chat this morning, guys. I tell you what, thank you so much for being so chatty. I love it. Bob Knoll. Oh no, I slept through my alarm. What did I miss? You missed nothing. We've basically spent the last hour and 45 minutes chatting. Lots and lots of chatting. Which is good. It's been fun. We haven't really done much on the Rust side of things though. You're totally good, man. Totally good. Good to see you, Bob, too, also. I mentioned you earlier, actually. Somebody asked why I started to learn Rust, and I said, well, because Bob peer pressured me. Ryan, technically, I think it was. I took AutoCAD in high school, and it got into learning it back then, but the one I learned thoroughly first was C# in high school. Oh, very cool. So you're C# to Lisp transplant. I like it. Sierra and Mamba. I used to really enjoy movies now. I feel guilty watching movies or gaming. I say to myself, you should be studying instead. You should be Syrian Mamba. You should be doing whatever it is you want to be doing with your time, man. Like quiet the outside voices and try to listen to yours and figure it out what you want to be doing with your time. So if you want to be spending your time programming and coding 1 hour and watching movies and gaming the next hour, do that, man. It's your life. The thing is, here's the thing. I will stand by this until the day they put my cold body in the earth. It is your life, and you're the only one who has to live it. Everyone else's opinions be damned. They're not coming to save you. They're not coming to pay your bills. They're not coming to get you a job. Nobody cares. They don't care. So you need to live your life in a way that makes you happy and content and fulfilled, and that you can feel good about. Not really. I went C#, JavaScript, Python, C++, TypeScript, then Lisp. Oh, wow, dude, you've been all over the place. And you really prefer Lisp to all of them? That's wild. Which distro you use? Which browser? I don't use a distro. I just use Windows 11. And I use the Zen browser. Maybe they will come to pay my bills, though. They will not. No. People are always very opinionated about how you should live their life. But if you asked them to take care of you if you lost your job, very few people would go into their pocket. If you want to know if people really care, like just ask them if they'll pay your rent. Guarantee fucking to you, they're not going to pay your rent. They'll have all kinds of opinions about how you should live your life and the things you should be doing and how you should be doing them, but they won't pay your rent. So live your life on your own terms. I'm telling you. Is it hard to find the time to code approximately 4 hours a day with kids, Steven? Not really, because I usually do a couple hours in the morning. I usually don't just sit here and chat the whole time, but I usually do a couple hours in the morning, and then I do an hour probably over lunch. Usually I'll sit and work on a side project during lunch, and then I'll spend a couple hours in the evenings. So it's pretty easy. It's broken up. It's not all in one sitting. Steven, you are such a nice person with a golden heart, it seems. I don't know if I have a golden heart. But I do try to be a nice person. Ryan, Lisp gives me instant feedback with all the boilerplate with my dev environment. Well, that's valuable. 100%. The tighter the dev loop is, makes for such a good experience. That's why I always tell people to go learn on Free Code Camp, because Free Code Camp's like dev loop is so fast. It's happening in the browser, and you see the results of the feedback of what you're learning right away. Yeah. Jules, that was great advice. Make a short. I'll need to play that every morning. Look, I spent way too much of my life. I spent too many years from the age of 12 to about 22. I spent way too much of my life doing things because of other people's thoughts and opinions. And I ended up in a place that I wasn't really happy to be at. And so, yeah, now I don't listen to other people. Unless you pay my salary. If you pay my salary, I listen to you. But if you don't pay my salary, I basically do whatever the fuck I want to do and what I think is the right thing to do. Unpopular opinion, C# is better than Java in terms of the runtime environment. It also needs brought into the conversation of DSA a bit more. I don't know much about Java, so that I can't contribute much. Steven, I will name my next Starbucks drink Steven. Nice. Just make sure you drop an A in there. Did we just become
best friends?
Madi, thanks for following on Twitch, man. Appreciate it. Who uses Java anymore? A lot of people, apparently. It was like the #1 language for employability. Ryan, plus I can generate technical drawings without a single library or package install. That's pretty baller. Very baller. All right, I'll be right back. If I come back and I start talking and you can't hear me, it's because I'm muted, so just spam mute. But I'm going to go get some coffee. I'll be right back.
Welcome to the party, pal.
I'm back. Did someone just become a member of the channel? Let's go. I gotta replay that because I didn't see it. I don't know if I can replay it. Damn it, I can't replay it. Well, thank you, Blood Moon, for becoming a member, man. Really appreciate that. Super kind of you. I wish I could have been here when it happened. Alright, time to learn some Rust. Or maybe we should work on the application a little bit. I only have about an hour, 45 minutes left. I guess we could try to implement a feature or two. Bye-bye, Rust learning. We're going to learn by doing now. Somehow replacing fans now means none of my GPU connected monitors are working. That fucking sucks. Have you heard about Collat's conjecture, 3n plus 1? I found a pattern, and I'll be pausing my political website dev to work on that for a couple weeks. I've not heard of that, Ryan. That's never heard of that before. Also, the political website, though, sounded like a cool project, so I hope you eventually go back to it. Is Collat's conjecture, is that like a math problem? All right, let's go to Zoe. I need to figure out how to say it so that I can actually refer to my own app. I will be. 3 Collat's conjecture is a 100-year-old unsolved math problem. Oh, wow. And you're going to try to solve it, huh? Okay. I guess I don't feel like I would have the math chops to do that. But Ryan, you're like an engineer, right? You're like a mechanical engineer or something, industrial engineer. I don't think I have the math chops to do that kind of math. But I'll be rooting for you. I'll be rooting for you the whole way. Okay, I think what I want to try to do is tech with Novpa. Steven, give me some motivational quotes so it helps me to continue coding. So here's a quote from Nick Saban. I really like Nick Saban. He's like a really successful football coach here in the United States. If you don't know who he is, there's this quote that there's this press interview he gives where he talks about if you want to be good, right? Tech with Novpa. If you want to be good, you really don't have a choice because it takes what it takes to be good, right? You have to show up. You have to put in the work. You don't have an option. So if you want to be good and you think you have the option to continue coding or not continue coding, you're a fool. You do not have an option. If you want to be good, you need to continue coding. There's my motivation. If your coffee making process is slow, just rewrite it on Rust. Exactly, right? You want to brew code? Well, actually, Mochi, if your coffee making process is slow, you should just add more people because that speeds everything up. That's what software development has taught us: is if a project is taking too long, you just add more people to the project. Ryan, thanks, Steven. Got to run to the hospital to hold my niece. Enjoy the rest of your day and good luck with Rust. Thanks, Ryan. Congratulations on your niece, dude. Just soak it up, man. They go from 0 to 4 way too fast, so soak it up. Get all the baby snuggles you can. See you, Ryan. Have a good day, man. All right. I gave Tech with Novpa his motivation for the day. All right. I think what I want to try to do is I want to try to add support for keybinds. So I want to be able to save a file with Control S. I want to be able to open a file with Control O, and I want to be able to save as with Shift Control S, I think is what Notepad uses. Yeah, Control Shift S, Control S, Control O. Yeah. I also need to figure out yeah, see this is the view you get in Notepad with Markdown is you can see it either formatted or edited. But I want to see a preview mode is what I want to see. I don't want to see it in line like this. This is more like a WYSIWYG editor, and that's not what I'm looking for. Okay, so let's say I want to implement Control O. How do I implement keybinds in this? So we have this update function. Update receives messages. Message edit. What else does this have on it? Message. Is there only two? Is that something I defined or is that something they defined? There it is. So we have edit, we have file action edited. I'm not sure how to listen to key events, you know? Key press. From key press. Maybe the text editor has something on it where you can listen for key inputs. Text editor. Content cursor key press. So if I did key press and I did text editor key press, Blood Moon, any project idea for minimal API? I'm tired of making to-do list and task manager after finishing tutorials. I feel you there, man. Those get boring. Let's see, minimal API project. What would be a good one? So, I think using minimal APIs for webhooks is kind of an interesting project, right? Like I used a minimal API for the Stripe donation site I just built. I used a minimal API for the Discord bot that I built. That both of those use cases are around basically exposing an endpoint that acts as a webhook to receive events, which was cool. I mean, the main thing an API is there for, right, is to handle translating data between your backend and some other client, right? I mean, that's the main use case for it in a lot of cases. So, but I understand what you're saying. Is like it's not interesting to just continue to build to-do lists and task managers. Is there some other interesting CRUD application that you can build? I built a I don't. Is it still live? I don't even know if I still have it deployed. And if it is deployed, I'm not sure I know how to log into it anymore. I don't know if this website's still live. Yeah, it's not live anymore. So I built a website that allowed me to retrieve data from a third party and then turn that data into like a graph, like a displayable like node-based graph that you could like drag data around and filter data and change the way the graph displays. And the backend for that was all written in a minimal API. So I guess it's more of finding interesting projects that you want to build that have a need to store data and return data. Maybe Discord bots would be cool. Yeah, Discord bot would be fun. Yeah, you could use Discord bots would be cool. Could definitely use it for that. If it was me nowadays, I usually just if I am in search of a project idea, I will usually just ask Gemini to brainstorm 10 project ideas and then just continue to ask it to brainstorm until I get one I like. or a lot of my projects that I've been building lately just come from like genuine problems in my life that I want to solve. Tech with no, I think more projects where you can learn something from it. Yeah, projects are good for that. I've been building though mostly most of the things I've built lately have been either scratching my own itch or just something for fun. Excuse me. All right, let's see if this works. I don't know if this is the right way to do this, but we're going to try. So you fill this in. And I'm just going to print it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say state.content. No, this is where Copilot. Turn off Copilot. Silencio. Let's just print this. So we'll say print line. And we will print key press dot something. Why doesn't it have anything on it? Should have a key field, right? Key. Format argument must be a string literal. You might be missing a string literal to format with. Well, it's acting like I don't have any fields on this struct, but it's a public struct. Text editor, key press. Okay. Well, let's just see if it actually works. We'll say here. Here. Let's do so AE. Oh, my nose keeps itching. Let's see, variant key press is never constructed. Yeah, that's not working. Variant key press is never constructed. What does that mean? But I'm using it down here, aren't I? All right, time for some Google foo. Let's see, iced.rust text editor handling key presses. This method allows you to provide a closure that intercepts a key press event and returns an optional binding message. Example conceptually. Custom message for saving. Key binding. Some binding custom message produce. Oh, this is exactly what I want to do. Let is save, command matches, key character. Yeah, this is exactly what I want to do. So I have to define this on the text editor, and then I have to produce. Oh, that's so much easier, because then I can just reuse the existing logic. Okay. So what you're saying is, I don't need this. What I really need is... I need to remove this guy. Okay. Oh, I guess I do. Okay, so I do need a custom message. I need a save file message. And then in my update logic, no, in my view logic, when I create the text editor, I have to say on key, or I can't. That's really annoying me. I can't see this NeoVim menu. Prevents me from seeing the methods underneath it. And I don't know how to fix that. It's just because I'm on this little tiny screen. We'll go big screen for a second. Oh, it's still doing it. I don't know how to fix that. We want on action. Well, the AI hallucinated. Because I don't see a dot key binding. Dot key. Oh, nope, it's there. Never mind. The AI did not hallucinate. My bad. Okay, so we have to register a key binding. Which is of type key press. And this must be how you declare a lambda function in Rust. Where is it? Rust lambda function. A simple lambda function, closure that adds 1 to a or one to a number. Yeah, so that's how you define a lambda, is with these pipe characters. Okay. All right, and then we're going to say if key binding dot key equals key let's see, what was that snippet of code? Let's see, if key press dot status. Oh, so we're basically checking to see if the editor's focused here. No, I don't care if the editor's focused. I mean, I just want, if you type Control C and the application is in focus, or Control S and the application is focused. So we'll say okay, let is save equals key binding dot modifiers dot command. So what does that mean? Returns true if a command key is pressed in the modifiers. The command key is the main modifier keys to issue commands in the current platform. Specifically, it is the logo command key, or on Mac OS, it is the control key on other platforms. Okay, that makes sense. And if it matches and matches key press dot key character like that, and then we'll just print. For now, just print it. We'll say is it save. Cannot find. Oh, that's because it's not key press. It's key binding, but I'm going to change it to key press. Expected a type but found a trait. Expected enum option iced binding message. None. So this thing expects a return type of option binding message. So I'm just going to return none. And then this is going to complain because I need to do this, right? I need to say and this is complaining because what? I expected a type, found a trait, not exhaustive patterns. Print line. Saving file. I can't figure out how to make I don't know how to compare these things. This is a key press. Key press. Oh goodness. Guten Tag, Gunhighs. How are you? Good morning, Lady Bull. How are you? Hope you had. I had a great week. Yeah, no complaints at all. Yep. No complaints whatsoever. My son has his first basketball game today. That'll be fun. So that's not the. That must not be the right thing. So let's look at the key module. No. Don't know how to. These are all the named keys. Okay. Ah. I think that's the one I want. Key character. No. Expected a type, found a trait. What does that mean? I'm gonna try using the fully qualified name. So we'll do iced keyboard key. What is a small stir? Small stir rust. Small stir. How's progress with the Rust pad of yours? It's going pretty good. Yeah, right now I'm trying to figure out how I add key bindings so that I can trigger things with like Control S, Control O, that type of stuff. That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. How to create a small stir in Rust. Okay, so can I do small stir from? Guess that's, I mean, it's weird that this would depend on a type that I can't have access to. Hmm. Oh, okay. So I can just cast it with into. Dot into. No? Key character into let's see, S key equals small stir. So I can't type it like that because I don't have access to the type. Well, this is frustrating. Use iced keyboard. So if I do iced keyboard key, bro, what the fuck is happening right now? I see you're progressing really well. I don't know if I'm progressing really well, but I'm just kind of sticking with it. You can choose not to answer this. Have you ever reached a what they call an emotional breaking point in your life? Could be any reason. If so, what were its effects? An emotional breaking point. I don't think so. Nothing springs to mind. Um, I definitely have had moments in life where I've had experiences that have kind of fundamentally shifted the way I think about life and how I make decisions about my life, but nothing where I've had like a breakdown. Okay, this doesn't work. This code doesn't work. These are all listening for... These are all listening for... what am I trying to say? These are all listening for a named key. None of these are listening for a specific character. Alright, let's resort to our good friend Copilot. Because he can probably make sense of the code base faster than I can. I'm trying to register a keybind using this library. How do I compare a key press, or how do I create a key press so that I can compare it to see if that was the key pressed? Because my Google Foo skills don't turn up anything helpful. And I think I'm close. I think I need to do something like this. But this is not working. Never, like high school, college, or some no, yeah, nothing comes to mind. Fimi12, what are you making? I'm building a notepad application, or I'm trying to build a notepad application in Rust, is what I'm trying to do. So, it'll look something like this when it's done. Or at least this is what it looks like right now. But it'll look and function something like Notepad when it's done. I'm building it primarily to learn Rust. But it'll also be a nice little handy tool I can use myself. Yeah, so it basically looks like this. This is what we're building. Right now I'm just trying to figure out how you handle key presses. And I don't know how to do that. So I'm trying to sort that out at the moment. I'm trying to have Copilot help me. Yeah, this doesn't work right here. This code just does not work. This is the same thing Google told me to do, and it does not work. It is just factually incorrect. Wait, what? What? Hold on. Okay, why does that work here, but it doesn't work down here? Huh. There must be something with type inference that's preventing that from working when I inline it, right? I mean, that's the only explanation there. It's literally the same exact code. The only difference is I put... Huh. That's really confusing. Very, very confusing. I would have never thought that pulling it out into an inline variable would make a difference. Unused variable s. But it is used. It's used. Okay, let's see now if we actually get print statements. Yeah, I want to learn Rust. It's just kind of confusing for me. Dude, it's confusing for me too, Thimmy. I'm learning. I'm just trying to kind of stumble through it the best I can. Okay, so that's triggering anytime I push control. It's triggering. Oh, that's because it's just trigger on any key press. I have to say if what do I want to do? I basically need to wrap this and say if is save, then do this. Cargo run. So control. So it's always triggering. Whenever I push control, it's triggering. So that's not right. So key press dot modifiers dot command. What if I do and key press equals S, like that? Oh, that's because it's not a variable. Expected enum iced keyboard key small stir found enum iced keyboard key so how do I get this to be I love it. I love it. Okay, there we go. Now that works. So let's try it now. Once I figure out how to do this once, it'll be pretty easy to repeat, but figuring out it the first time is kind of difficult. Oh, we need to be able to see the logs. There we go. But it doesn't trigger if I push other keys. Okay, cool. That worked. Let's go. Okay, so now we have a way to send a message whenever that key press happens. Right? So then what we want to do is if it is a save, then we're going to return some binding. From key press? No. What was it? Let's see, what did the AI say we should do? Some text editor binding custom. Yeah, that's what we want. Custom. custom. Then we can pass in message save file like this. Mismatch type, expected unit type, found enum option, binding. That's what this expects though, right? It expects an option of binding of type message. Isn't that what we're giving it? For all other keys, return the default binding behavior. Oh, that's probably a smart idea. There we go. Okay, let's see if we can get it to save now. So now what we need to do is in our update function, we have to listen for save file. So now when we run our application again, it's extending a lifetime. I don't know what that means, but I trust, Kirk, you are correct. I trust all your Rust knowledge implicitly. So let's do hello world. Hey, it works. Look, so now what we can do is, since this is a new file, what we'll do is we'll just call our save file function that we already have. So what we'll do is we'll say, so we have a save, we have a file action save already that handles this. So what we'll say is we'll say, okay, great. If we receive a message called save, what we're going to do is we're going to do the similar thing. File path equals save file. We'll pass in the state. And we'll pass in state.content.text. And I think we have to clone this. Look at us. I think we added a key binding. Hey, I like your terminal visual settings. Can you tell me how you did it and are the additional benefits of this? Are the additional benefits of it? Well, the benefits of it is it just makes you want to spend more time working in your terminal, I guess. You know, I mean, the more aesthetic and pleasing you find your tools, the more likely you are to use them. But there's no like use this and you'll be more of a cracked programmer. You know, nothing like that. As far as how I did it, if you type !PWSH and then ! Oh my posh, my bots will hook you up with exactly what you need. It's basically, I'm using a tool called this right here. I'm using a tool called Oh My Posh, Oh My Posh, to make the prompt look all pretty. And then, what else? Then I have some custom stuff in my PowerShell profile, which you can get by typing ! PWSH. Let's see if we can get a file to save. So we'll say, this is testing the save file keybinds. Hey, looky there. It works. So then we'll say way to go .txt. And then we'll say save. Now, if this was an existing file, then we shouldn't get prompted. So now we have an existing file, so we should be able to add some text. We should be able to type Control S again. It should have saved. There's no indicator of the save occurring, but we should have just saved the file. So now if we clear all this out and we load that file back in, you can see we persisted that. So we need some way to kind of indicate that we're saving the file, right, for the user, because the user doesn't know. Stopped by a design within reach store yesterday. Financed an Arion. Won't be here for another month, so plenty of time for regret, but my current desk chair is done. That's awesome. I would love to know what you think about the Arion. I've heard good things about it. I've heard bad things about it. I had a coworker who bought an Arion and then returned it or gave it to his wife, and then he bought an InBody. So I'll be interested to see what you think of the Arion. But I need to invest in a chair too, Bob. I need to start a super chat goal for an office chair because office chairs are like $1,000. I mean, like you said, you have to finance those sons of bitches. Hello, Ulas. How are you? Good to see you, man. Good morning. All right. Now that we know how to do this, let's. Also, where's that print statement coming from? Save file successfully. Is that coming from over here? Oh, yeah. That's coming from over here. I don't want to do anything. Might want some logs in the future, but for now we don't do anything like that. You know what? I'm kind of thinking I probably don't need. I probably don't need that. What I can probably do is actually I can probably do this. I can say, just send a message dot file action selected, and then the file action can be saved. Yeah, we don't even need we don't need a different set of messages. We just want to send the same one. So then we can do another one that says, let is open. I've got coughs, I've got burps, I got all kinds of things going on this morning. We could probably refactor to this to like a match or something. This doesn't need to be a bunch of if statements. But now we can do file action, open. All right. So let's try this. Sounded like a Twitch sellout? Yeah, I'm kind of a sellout. I tell you what, guys, I'm one greedy motherfucker. I'm so transparent about that. My number one goal in life right now is to acquire enough money to achieve financial independence. It's the only thing that I care about. I mean, I care about other things, but like that's the main thing. right? Like that's the number one thing is like I
Did we
just
just become best friends?
thank you very much, Sam V Codes, for following the channel. Okay, dude, chill. No, I'm serious, man. That's the only thing that matters. I'm just trying to achieve some level of financial security for my family, for my kids and my wife. I just want to get to a point where um, if I lost my job, I wouldn't have to panic to immediately find another one. All right, time to go cargo run. Also, Sam V Codes, appreciate the follow, man. It's very kind of you. Oh, I need to remove that. Save file. Yeah. Okay. Now we can try again. And you have 2 sons. Good luck with that. Well, yeah, we're gonna see how that goes. But yeah, that's definitely what we're working towards. When I'll be completely honest with you, you last when people say stuff like that, that there's nothing that motivates me more than somebody telling me I can't do something or or acting like I won't be able to do something. You guys ever seen that Dana White clip where Dana White's like, bet against me? I fucking love it. Do it. You know, like that. There's nothing that gives
Welcome
me
to the
more.
party, pal.
Thanks for subscribing, Sam, because that's way too nice, dude. You didn't have to subscribe. The follow was plenty. That was plenty, man. But thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Just buy silver. That's an easy self-sustain item. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think buying silver is the best investment strategy, but I mean, that's just me. I'm not an investment professional. All right, ready? We're gonna try to load a file. Oh my goodness, we have keybinds and it is awesome. Let's go. And then we can save this, and then we can get deleted all, and then we can open it again. Yes, let's go, dude. Okay, cool. So we've got that working. And before I move on to something else, we need to add Sam to the members list. Buying gold is though? I don't know, man. I don't know if gold's the way to go. I think if you ever want to know my thoughts on investment, I just follow the advice from this book called Simple Path to Wealth by J.L. Collins. That's the advice I follow. Simple Path to Wealth, which it basically boils down to I just shovel as much money as I can into the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund and let it ride. That's basically what it boils down to in its most simplest form. All right, we need to update our list. CD update lists. Copper. Yeah, I'm not. I don't invest in any metals. I don't own any silver or any gold. Nothing like that. I buy tokens. I don't. I own a little bit of crypto, but I don't currently actively put money into any kind of crypto or tokens. You ask. I'm not saying you can't do it. Well, I'm more of me when someone's like, "Good luck with that, buddy." Right? That's how I kind of read your message. Was like, "Good luck with that." You know, like go ahead. Good luck with that, man. And when people tell me stuff like that, like I still remember to this day. At one point in my life, my mom was like, "Well, debt's always going to be a part of your life," and I was like, and I just thought in the back of my head, like I would never say this to my mom, but I just thought in the back of my head was like, yeah, fuck that. Watch this. Like nothing motivates me more than somebody saying I can't do something. It lights a fire under me like nothing else. I think that's the competitor in me. I think if you're a competitive person, That's how it, if you've ever heard like the Michael Jordan stories, like nothing motivated Michael Jordan more than somebody, challenging him, right? This is like, if you're a competitor, that should be your kind of default response, is like, nah, bro. Oh crap, I forgot to run the command. Jesus Christ, Steven, focus. We're gonna do .NET twitch.cs .NET Twitch subscribers. All right, now we should see 4 names scroll across now. Or no, I have to reload the. Sorry, I have to reload the overlay. How do I do that? Scrolling over. Oh no, I have to go to this. Oh, I can't do that from over here. Oh shit. How do I? This is a problem for me. Okay, 1 second. You guys are gonna see a black screen for a second. Hold on to your horses. You're coming back in just a second. We have to reload the Twitch. Okay, now we're back. Sorry about that. You guys went into the void for a second there. All right, we should see Sam's name now on the scrolly list. You lost. Everybody can do whatever they want, but there will be consequences to each action, whether you like it or not. Oh, for sure there will be consequences. Yeah, for sure there'll be. That's like for every force, there's an equal and opposite reaction, or equal and opposite force. Yeah, most definitely. Parker Woods. Love watching you. You're a huge inspiration. I'd love to show you what I've been working on sometime and see what you think. Oh yeah, for sure, Parker. You're always welcome. You can join our Discord if you type !Discord in the chat. The best place to show off your projects and stuff is in my Discord server. There's a projects channel. That's the best place to show it off. Ooh, quantum, you say? A dealib. That's true. I think it's true. I think it's true. It's been true in my life. Yeah, it's been true in my life. Oh, we got to go back to. Okay, and then we need to implement. I think we have. How many actions do we have? We have save, and we have save as, and we have open. So we probably need a save as one, right? So let's do. Let is save as, which is going to be very similar to this, only now we're going to check if the modifier is a command and key press, and key press dot modifiers dot shift. Yeah, and then we'll say, okay, if you are file save as, then we're going to dispatch the save as at file action. So the nice thing about that is now I can just reuse all that existing logic that I've already written for the manual triggering of the commands. Now I can do it all. Help, a local variable with a similar name exists. Cannot find value is save as in this scope. Oh, yep, you're right. Sorry. Is the $ profile your PowerShell? Yep. Yep, that's it. Shared somewhere on GitHub? Yes. It is on GitHub. It's actually in a gist. So if you type !PWSH, it'll give you a link to that gist. Then I can do Control Shift S or Shift Control S. Oh, shoot. So it's probably triggering the save before the save as. So this actually needs to be in front. I think. Maybe. I don't know. Have you had progress for async actions? I haven't yet. So I need to implement right now the file operations are all happening synchronously. So they're blocking. But yeah, at some point I think I'd like to use asynchronous actions for all the file operations, but I haven't gotten there yet. Yeah, there you go. Abdil, that's the link. That tiny URL link. That link will take you to a gist that has my PowerShell profile in it. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, I think it's an order of operations thing. It's probably a good reason why my key binding should be registered some other way than how I'm doing it right now. So we'll do Control Open. We open this file, and then let's say we want to save a copy, so we can save as, and we can do way to go copy.txt. Save that, and now we have, let's add some additional, Control S to save it. Now let's load the original. Okay, that saved it into the way to go. Okay, so we have a bug, right? I think we have a bug. So we did Control Save as, well, I guess it's not a bug. We did Control Save as. I guess that's the question. When we do Control Save as, should that load in the new file path? I don't know. Let's see. So if we're in Notepad, right, we have a brand new file, or let's open existing file, and we do this file, and then I say save as, and I do another copy, and I save it. Yeah, see, it loaded in that copied version and not the original. And my editor's not doing that. So if we do, let's see, open the original. Okay, and then I'm going to save as, and we do save copy test.txt. You can see we're still editing way to go.txt. So we need to fix that so that we update the path of what we're editing. So where is that happening? That's happening here. And right now this is not returning. So this should be option path buff. And then this should optionally be then we should do a sum path. we should do nothing. I guess none. Okay. And then we're going to need to go through the call chain and update the results. So this can optionally hand back and if it does, we're going to stay, or actually we can do this in a single line. We can just stay state.file path equals this. You use a moved value path. Okay. I think that fixes the bug. Hey, yo, what's up, Dismal Light? It's been a minute, man. How you been? We're just hanging out this morning, drinking some coffee, writing some Rust, building a little notepad application, having ourselves a grand old time. All right, so here's our original. And then we'll say Control Save, Control Shift Save. And then we'll say, give me way to go fix.txt. Save. Yep. And then the path got updated. We can see that down here. And we'll add some additional text. Hello. We'll save it. We'll open the original. The original should remain unchanged, which it does. Then we'll open up the new file. Cool. Okay, so I think the next thing we should take care of is we probably should have some sort of message that we display when we're saving a file or we trigger a file. Save. I think we should also move the editing path. I think we should move that up above because my eyes have to look all the way to the bottom of the screen to see what file I'm editing. So I think that should go up to the top. Haven't seen a stream in a while. Oh man, that's too bad. Yeah, no, we've been here every day. I think I'm on my shit. I don't think I've missed a stream like in over 90 days. Basically, since I got back from my trip to Nashville, I don't think I've missed a stream. Which is pretty wild when you think about that. Let's see. I wish there was a way I could just like track. Let's see. So 9th, 8th, 7th, 4th, 11th, 31st. I streamed every day in December. I streamed every day in November. I don't even remember when that trip was to Nashville. Yeah, I streamed every day in November. Yeah, I'm on a hot streak right now. I can't remember. I think I streamed every day in October too. And then I had that trip to Nashville. I think that trip to Nashville was in September. Yeah. Yeah. So basically since September the 29th, I have not missed a stream. So what is that? September 29th to today, number of days. It's a lot of days. 103 days. You should build a stream stats tracker. I really should. Yeah, that would actually be that'd be a fun thing to keep track of. Yes, look at analytics and you can see your live stream views. But you can't see how many days in a row. I don't think it keeps track of that. I have not looked at the crust of Rust, Kurt Kennedy. I've only been looking at the Rust programming language book and then trying to build this Notepad application. Those are the only things I've done so far to learn Rust. So we have, I do want to implement a new file action, but the thing is I think I would like to support multiple tabs like Notepad has, and I'm not really sure how to go about doing that. I think it's going to require refactoring my state quite a bit, but I'd like to be able to support tab UI like that. But I haven't quite figured that out. I do want to implement, let's see about how do we implement Zoom, right? Because that's something I use quite a bit with Notepad. So let's see if I can figure out how to implement Zoom. Iced.rs Zoom support. Image, zoom, and pan. Let's see. Yes, IceRS has built-in support for zooming and panning images. No, I don't want zooming and panning images. I just want to be able to zoom the whole. Let's see. Provides functionality to zoom in and out by scrolling up and down. However, it was stopped working from the latest master branch. Run this program with passing an image file path to the first command line. Then try to zoom in and out the image in the window by scrolling up and down. Because it doesn't look like it just works out of the box. If I try to zoom, right, that doesn't work. Scrolling the window doesn't work. But on Notepad, if I do control, like if I do hello. So I guess all we're doing here is we're just increasing the font is what we're doing when we scroll. No, we're doing something to the view, the percentage. Okay, so how do I want the same functionality in my editor. So how do I do that? I guess I have to listen for the control, and then I have to listen for the scroll, and then I need to react to that. But I'm not sure what I'm supposed to, let's see. Iced.rs zoom magnification. I just continue to see the same stuff. Okay. Can you take a peek at this library and tell me what would I hook into to be able to trigger or to be able to change the magnification of the editor when pressing Control and scrolling my mouse, or pressing Control and the plus or minus button. Because I think that should probably increase it to Control plus, Control minus. I mean, I guess what you're doing is you're changing the font size of the editor, right? I mean, regardless of what this says down here, this is basically saying, well, if you have a font size of, let's say you have a font size of 16 pixels, if you have a font size of 16 pixels and you scroll to, what would it be? If you scrolled to 32 pixels, that would be a magnification of 200%, right? So then you're really just displaying down here a calculation of the percentage of the font size increase is what you're doing. So let's see if I can just trigger Control Plus, if I can can force that to increase the font size of the editor. Let's see if we can do that. So editor, or sorry, font. No, what about font size? I can't use dot exploration in this tiny little window because NeoVim keeps covering it up. So frustrating. Let's see, text editor. Oh. We can chat for a little bit. Let me catch up. UCN sort the chart. I built a stats tracker for main projects or also a stats tracker for my blogging platform, Micropub. Nice. That sounds like fun. I think stats tracking and visualization would be a fun project. I haven't done much with the data visualization on the web, so I think that'd be a fun project. Let's see, it will give you a graph and you can select the day you missed. Oh, interesting. That's a good idea. So you said, what did you say to do? You said to look at your, what do I want to look at? Look at your analytics. Then sort the graph by stream. Okay, live. Oh yeah, there. That's a good idea. Yep, you're totally right. That is a really good way to see, because then I can basically last 20. I can do last 365 days. Yep, that was a much easier way to see. September 29th, I think, is when my streak began. Or September 27th. September 27th. 26, 25, 23, 22. Oh no, maybe not. Maybe it goes back further. I think it goes deep into September, actually. I don't know. It's a long time. To me, it seems like a very consistent streaming schedule. Regardless. Tensor Villi. Hey mate, good evening. Long time no see. Just completed my exams. Congratulations, Tensor. Congratulations, man. Way to get through your exams. Way to go. You could bind the scroll wheel, then dispatch font size increase. Yes, that sounds like a good idea. Kurt Kennedy, message increase font size. Yes, that's add 10% for every 2 pixels added to the font size. Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. Ali, I'll be back. I would try searching using Boolean search terms to get rid of image zoom. I think we figured it out. I think we know what we're going to do. I think we need to figure out how we now listen for that message. That's, I think, what we need to do now. Yeah, it's almost like what I want to do is I want to listen for the scroll. On scroll? On something. I wonder if the editor, if I have to listen to it on like a window level, maybe. Let's see what Copilot came up with. Oh, oops, hold on. Sorry, guys. I realize I need to switch back to the other scene. Turns out I unplugged my GPU power cable from the PSU on accident. All fixed now. Posted a video of my new fans in the Discord. That's awesome, dude. I'm glad you're able to figure it out. I bet that was very frustrating, though, trying to debug that. I'm glad it was a simple thing and not a complex thing. The text editor widget provides a key binding method that allows. Okay, that one I already know about. You can intercept the keys and return a custom message. Zoom in. Yeah, all right, that one's fine. Control. This is more difficult because text editor widget consumes mouse scroll events internally to scroll the content. It does not check for modifiers during this action. It also doesn't expose a simple hook. So track the state of the keyboard modifiers. Intercept the mouse wheel scrolled events. If control is pressed, capture the event and produce a zoom message instead of passing the event to the text editor. Zoom wrapper, okay. You'll need to track the modifiers in your widget state. If event forward everything else to the inner text. Okay, so that's kind of an involved one. So let's just see if we can get control plus working. Let's see if we can get control, because basically what they're saying is, or what Copilot seems to be saying is that because, where is my editor? So because we can have scrolling, right? So because we can do things like this, and we can scroll up and down, right? Basically, we have to have a way to know that control is pressed to stop the scrolling from scrolling the editor. So we have to kind of one level above catch the scroll and then check to see if control is pressed. And if control is pressed, don't allow the editor to receive that scroll event, which is a little bit more involved than I'd like to do right now. So I'm just gonna add support for control plus, control minus, and we'll just increase the font size. So let's do is, I know this is not scalable what I'm doing right now, but I'm just going to keep doing it. So let's say is increase font equals key press dot modifiers dot command and key press dot key equals plus. And we'll say, I wonder if that's a named key actually. Let's see, key equals key character. Let's see, key named. Paste, power off, pin up, print, media, add. Doesn't look like it. So I'll have to do plus. And then we'll dispatch if is increase font. Then we'll do something like this. But now it's not a file action, it's more like an editor action. Increase font. I don't know, maybe I don't need 2 layers though. Maybe I can just get away with this. Increase font. Now message doesn't have an increase font, but it will. And then we need to add that here. Now the question is, how do I actually increase the font, right? That's the question. So I have state.content, but that's not the editor. So do I need to hold on to a reference to the editor, I guess, in my state? Okay, so I have the message being dispatched on the proper keybind, but how then do I change the font size of the text editor itself? Good morning, Komodo Swag Dragon. How goes it? Bob Knoll, okay, I'm back. All the people and animals in my house have been fed, ready to follow along. Oh, nice. Well, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be around, Bob, because I need to eat too myself. And we have a basketball game at 10, so I probably need to actually go here in the next probably 15 minutes or so. Let's see, you should use the size method, or sometimes text size. Okay, update your state. Yes, this makes sense. Okay, so I don't need to hold on to I just need to paint the editor differently. So in the view function, I just need to basically say, okay, dot size. Sets the text size of the render. So I wonder what the default is. What do you guys think the default is? 16 or something? I bet we can figure out whatever it is. Oh no, I'm guessing that they got that from the source code, I'm guessing. Or Copilot got it from the source code. So the default size is going to be on our state. So where's our state at? So we're going to say editor font size equals 16. Oh, I need to type it. Sorry. Whoopsies. What do I want here? I guess I want int 32, or I guess it can be unsigned, can't it? How do you, what is it? 32 unit?
35 likes, and Stivan will attempt a handstand.
First of all, Sogo, thank you very much for that super chat. That's very, very kind of you. Second of all, I can attempt one. I'm probably not going to be able to do it successfully. How do I type a damn? Let's see, unsigned Rust, unsigned integer type. Sorry, it's U32. Jesus. Okay. So that's always going to default to 0, though. So I need to change. So if I do state.font size, or editor font size like this, that's always going to be 0. So down here where I boot up my app, I think what I want to do is I want to do return a new state struct, and I want to set the editor font size to 16, and then I'll just spread in the default. I think. And then here what I'll do is I'll just say, okay, we're going to increase the font size by how much? Like 2 each time? Steps of 2. So we'll say state editor font size plus 2. Like that. And then we probably want to also have message decrease. I think I'm starting to get a hang of the pattern here a little bit of how to build with this particular framework. So then I have to go back to message to define a decrease font. And then in my key bindings, we'll say let minus equals keyboard key character minus into, and we'll say let decrease font minus then we'll say great, you want to decrease like that. No errors. So let's try it out now. See what happens. Right when you get comfortable with a crate, the maintainer drops out. Well, yeah, I mean, but I mean that's right. That's the risk you take using something off the shelf that's free, you know. Fork and rebuild. Yeah, that's an option. Raphael, the PC is wall mounted too, so I had to lift it off and back up. It's so heavy. Glad my back is still okay. You mounted your PC to the wall? Man, that's pretty impressive. Okay, so we do hello. Okay, that doesn't. Okay, that's going smaller. Woo, that can go. I canceled it out of existence. I shrunk it to nothing. But the increase isn't working. So the plus key, the plus key is behind a shift. So do I actually need to do Control Shift plus maybe? Is iced unmaintained? I don't think it is. I think it's maintained. No, that was a stab at active. I think iced. But I do think ice is a passion project. You know, like that manifesto we read the other day. That was very clearly him saying like, "Don't expect anything from me." So we probably need to do, I guess. And key press dot modifiers dot shift, maybe. What? Oh, sorry, put an extra one in there. My bad. Yeah, it might need shift plus E. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe that's what I need to do instead. So let's do hello. Yep. Okay. So you're thinking Control Shift equals. So let's rename this to equals. We'll do equals. I think this is it conceptually. Almost every UI framework kind of boils down to this type of a architecture, though, right? Like you kind of have this view, you have some state of your application, you have some things that handle inputs, and then you have some sort of thing that renders out the state, right? And so the things that handle inputs mutate the state in some way that then the view changes how the view is rendered in some way. That's basically conceptually what's happening. At least here, that's what's happening under the hood. So then, yep, there we go. Hey, look at that. We can change the font size of our editor. So we probably should set some bounds on this, though, right? Like we probably don't want it to go smaller than so much, and so let's do in our updates. Maybe we can do like some constant. So we say const max font size or max editor font size. Let's call that what is 500%? 500% of 16. It's 80. So we could set this to 80. And then const min editor font size. I'm just going to set this to 12. I feel like those seem like reasonable mins and reasonable maxes. This file's getting a little wieldy though, isn't it? A little wieldy. So then we'll say, okay, if state.editor font size equals max, then we will just return. We'll do the same thing down here. We'll check it against min. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong thing. If editor font size is less than or equal to, and if editor font size is greater than or equal to, it shouldn't ever be greater than, but if something weird happens. Cargo run. Suhas, bro's alive? I did not know. Yeah, I'm alive. I'm alive. I am on alive. Is there a reason to code in the terminal? Just for funsies. Oh, we have to always type constants. We literally learned about that today when we were reading that book. You have to always type constants. U32. U32. Yeah, just for funsies. I mean, I used to be pretty much an exclusive Visual Studio Code, Visual Studio user and writer user, and then I decided to take a slight jaunt down the NeoVim rabbit hole, and it's been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed myself. And I've just kept using it, you know. But I still use Visual Studio Code. I still use all those other editors. And at some point, it should stop increasing. Okay, yep. And then we can go small, and then it'll stop. Hey, looky there! Let's go! That's awesome.
Did we just become best friends?
Wagafa, thanks for following, man. I appreciate you. Thanks for the follow. We're slowly gaining some people over on Twitch. There's only a few of you holding it down over there, but I appreciate every single one of you. All right, the last thing, I'm not gonna do it today, but what we need to do is we probably need to add. So what we should do is we should add a note here that says to do expose the zooming functionality through a menu, which we don't really have right now. Git add, git commit m feature wire up keybinds for existing file actions. I don't know why I'm doing that over there. I can do that in lazy git. So we can do feature wire up keybinds. Added keybinds.
Did we just become best friends?
Thank you very much, 8 ball. That's quite a username. Thank you very much, 8 ball. Thanks for the follow on Twitch, man. Appreciate that. Added keybinds for existing file actions. Added keybinds to support zooming. Control S. Shift P. Hell yeah. Let's go. C++ 11 standards were massive. C++ are good to study up on. Oh, we're talking about C++. Yeah, I don't know anything about C++. Steven, I'm going to make an AI which will detect your face orientation and beep every time you don't pay.
Did we just become best friends?
Thanks for the follow, man. I'm getting some Twitch followers today. That's awesome. Every time you don't pay attention to the chat for more than 5 minutes, that would be cool. Yeah, I'm trying. It's a thing I'm struggling with most as I stream, is trying to find a good balance between chat and coding. You know, I mean, the drinking coffee thing's easy. I can basically drink coffee as much as I want. But finding a balance between the chatting and the coding is is sometimes challenging. The owner of bread. What's your favorite language? My favorite language is C# by far. Yeah, C# by a good mile. But if I could only ever write one programming language again, it would be TypeScript. And that's because I can use TypeScript, or I can turn TypeScript into JavaScript, which allows me to build things on the web. So that would be my number one language. I mean, I know you can use C# to build things on the web, but it's just like I would much rather write the native language of the browser. Cool. I like XML. Okay. I wouldn't consider really XML like a programming language, but I guess you asked what's my favorite language, so it could be. I mean, XML I guess falls in there. I don't care for XML myself. I think it of that family of languages, like I put XML kind of in like the configuration language, or serialization language. I would probably pick JSON for me. My final language would be Fortran to fight the Terminators. Nice, yeah. That would be a pretty good language for the rebellion. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, it's 8 o'clock here. My oldest son has a basketball game at 10, so I'm gonna hop off here and go get ready for the day and maybe lift some weights and just kind of get stuff situated. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me this morning. This was a ton of fun. Did Kadara code? What's your bedtime? Typically, I go to
Did we
bed
just
between.
become best friends?
Steven Jailborn just followed the channel. That's hilarious. If someone really took time to make a Twitch account to troll me, I mean, I feel like I've made it. I guess I've made it on Twitch. Yeah, my bedtime's usually sometime between 8 and 10. Just depends on what's going on. But yeah, I try to fall asleep sometime in that time window. All right, if you're new here, the best place to find me and chat outside of stream is Discord. I'll spam that into the chat real quick. Discord.stevenfreeborn.com. You're welcome to join us there. If you want to come back and hang out on stream again, you can do that between 4:15 and 7 a.m. almost every day of the week. Sometimes I stream a little bit later on the weekends, but that's my schedule for the most part, is 4:15 Central Standard to 7 a.m. Central Standard. Suash, your alter ego, Steven Jailborn. I know, right? That's hilarious. And I'm just going to be doing more of what I've been doing on stream the last few days. I'm going to keep learning Rust. Sogo, thank you for the super chat, man. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you. And probably there'll be some things that we mix in there, but I'm going to keep building on this little Rust application and keep trying to learn Rust for at least a few more days, maybe another week or two, until I get kind of tired of it. And then I'll go back to my lovely C# and TypeScript. I've got plenty of projects to fill the stream this year, so should have a lot of fun. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Saturday. If it's Saturday for you, if it's already Sunday for you, have a great Sunday. And I'll talk to y'all later. All right. Bye, the owner of bread. Bye, Blips. Bye, Suhas. Bye, Sogo. See you, Bob Knoll. Appreciate you hanging out. Tier list of strongest programmers. Yeah, that'd be good. Good tier list. I just don't know how many programmers lift. My final. Okay. See you, Kirk. Who else is in the chat? I think that's everybody. Anybody from Twitch? Nobody from Twitch is in the chat. It's all just YouTubers. All right. Bye, chat. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye. Bye. See you guys.